again. Welcome to TPK Roleplay. Don't shake your head at me.
This would never happen on Luca's watch.
No, it wouldn't. It absolutely wouldn't. She'd take care of us. Yes, welcome to Fragments, our Demiplanes of Dread campaign. The highest production quality and sound management across the entire TPK network. Always prepared, always ready, always set up when we go live.
We spent the budget building this fort behind me.
Yeah.
We spent the budget on your mask, I think, actually.
Yeah. And my tail.
Yeah.
Good God. We've been off for a couple of weeks. So my computer's forgotten everything, like the devices that were set up on it for sound. I have been away for a couple of weeks, travelling some of the old colonies, bringing them back under heel. But now we're back for Demiplanes of Dread. The group last time leveled up to level 4. Big congratulations to Hazim, who in maybe 8 or 9 years of us playing various forms of TTRPGs together, it's the first time he's ever rolled well on HP. He rolled maximum on HP for Hazim. Also, congratulations to Luca, who spent several minutes debating whether to roll or whether to hit the average. Which did you do, roll or average? She went with roll, and she rolled the average. So that was fantastic. Jack, how did your HP go?
I am not a risk taker. I just went the average.
Cool. We re-roll ones if anyone ever does gamble and roll a 1.
Always gamble.
Yeah. So, yeah, we've been off for a couple of weeks. Last time, you returned to Fort Watten. I've got no music either. Let's put music on. Boom. Random page. Music. Go. It's playing twice because I also need to mute that. There we go. God, what a mess it's been tonight. Cool. So, yes, we returned from Fort Watten, bringing the undead. If you remember, we picked up last session in the midst of combat with a group of undead, one of whom had like a satchel made of clearly human stitched flesh and seemed to be communicating in some way with the others, or at least issuing commands over the others. The group decided that the noises it was making and from the way it was focusing on them when they spoke, they believed it to be capable of certainly a level of understanding, perhaps even a level of communication. It did
said 2 words, right?
What were the words it said?
Well, one, it kept saying Skranor. I don't know what that meant, but it said home as well.
It also said someone's name, like Harry or Henry or something like that.
Well, we think it sounded like an A, sure. Could have meant anything, though. Could have meant I need a poo. Henry.
Could have been.
Could have been. Regardless of whether it did need a toilet or not, you decided to bring it back to Fort Watten with you, where there was a tense exchange outside between Whisper and Irina. Conflicting feelings for Whisper. Conflicting feelings for Luca. You did get inside, and Captain August has imprisoned the undead in the only cell in all of Fort Watten, you were told. They don't really go in for imprisonment much, as you've already seen, but like a farmer, a bit of mild negligence from a farmer resulted in impalement. They don't really have much time for imprisonment, but the zombie has been put into a cell. He is sending word to Drakov to see if it should go to Morfenzi or not. In the meantime, I put in the Discord the other sort of leads you're currently floating around or working on. There's people in town you may want to talk to. There is the livestock that is
Owlbear
disappearing. Yeah, from how it's been described, they aren't familiar with the term, but you've pieced together from the descriptions of it that it's possibly some sort of owlbear
that secretes. Was it acid it secreted or something?
That secretes some sort of filth. A filthy owlbear.
We also got a name on the knight Gondagal.
Yes, Gondagal.
Gondagal.
Yeah, turned up when you were in that zombie encounter. Full plate, impressive horse, drove down a few of the zombies and then rode off, and you asked about Gondagal when you returned, and were told that they are seen to be a bit of an ill-omen figure, and a fate that befalls people who speak ill of Drakov and her excellent, safe, stable regime. All will be well. So yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, with the kind of owlbear thing, it wasn't that there was like traces of acid. It just looked like whatever attacked this area was affected by acid.
Yeah. It was like there was that big burnt sort of hollow where the pigs had gone missing. Anything that anyone wants to add that I've missed? Any questions anybody has based on last time, or shall we get to the new day?
Yeah.
I think I'm good. Yeah.
We're playing long rest.
We are applying a long rest, everybody. Yes.
And the level up.
Well, the level up should have already been applied, of course.
Well, no, another
Right.
level up.
Another
Level
one,
5.
yeah, just another one. A retcon I made was, I discussed it in the Discord. Luca Whisper has gained the first aid cantrip. If you missed me talking about this in the channel, it's a cantrip that lets you spend someone's hit die to give a small amount of healing. She's got that spell, but we've changed it so that it uses her own hit die, because it seems unfair to potentially, for her to decide, as well-meaning as it might be, for her to decide that she's spending your hit die and it rolling terribly, and then you having none left for a rest. So it takes from her, not from you.
Oof.
Did anybody take anything interesting for level up? I'm going to assume that Hazim took the feat we talked about originally.
I picked up
ancestry.
Sentinel. I'm Sentinel.
Nice.
So with my 10-foot reach on my glaive and Sentinel, I can stop people before they get to me now.
Very nice. What did Vanessa go with for level up? Just an ASI? Or?
I went ASI. I didn't realize being in this campaign that I'd be so squishy and that I'd be getting hit a lot. So I just upped my dexterity.
Okay. And do you want to share what Whisper took? Or do you want to keep it to yourself?
Did Keen Mind.
Mind.
What's Keen Mind do?
Yeah. I took nothing because I just increased the AC of all enemies by 1. Is all I took. So,
Luca decided to go Keen Mind because last session the DM deliberated with her wanderer feat that she can't get lost. She's like, well, I'm taking Keen Mind, so now I always
well, we talked about that in part of it, where she was like, well, can I get lost? It's like, well, if you've been somewhere, you can find your way back to the path. But if a wizard teleported you all into the middle of the woods on the other side of Falkovnia, before she wouldn't be like, Fort Watten's that way. Now, at least you know where north is, and then you'd all be like, holy shit, a wizard in Falkovnia. Okay, let's take it to...
Another one?
Yeah, another one. What? Let's head to the morning.
This session is being sponsored by Jam Shed instead of Gallo this week.
Jam Shed.
Jam Shed, it's called. It's a very rich, jammy, and smooth red wine.
Oh,
Very nice.
They all look the same in a couple of hours.
Yeah. And then we'll be going on to a Casillero del Diablo, Devil's Cellar, an old favourite of the Hazim household. But yeah, mixing 2 bottles of red.
Tonight I'm on a Glenfiddich 12 years, but some fool bought me.
You were the fool for looking after my kids.
water.
Water. God, early in the day for you lot.
It's true. So, Luca, you've already been given a +2 to check or save by Cole. It is morning. Luca, please make me a perception check. So you all wake up. Are you all in your group barrack in Fort Watten?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. Is Vanessa? What's the question?
Yeah, why wouldn't I be?
I don't know. Why wouldn't you be?
Yeah. She's hanging out like the rest of you.
Just like a normal human being.
Yeah, like
Like a normal human girl.
Yeah, there in her nightie and her sleeping gloves.
Completely naked, but gloves on.
yeah, exactly. The gloves stay on.
Jesus. So, the gloves stay on. You are awoken by the sounds of the camp. The usual, it's your second morning waking up here, but your third day in camp, partially. You hear the usual just signs of soldiers going around, shifts changing. You hear quite early on what you know now to be just a patrol that will head out and just hunt zombies for the day and try and thin those numbers. Dispatches, you hear the shouting of the farmers, just the distant day-to-day squeal of the swine in their pens, not too far away from your barracks. But yeah, you are all awake in your barrack.
So as it stands, we've not been given we've not been put on a rota or anything. We're not on a watch or anything like that.
No, you've been told it's coming. You've been told to expect to be reached in, to be kept in touch with in the morning to find out what you're doing.
Okay.
You're basically told until we have, if you're doing stuff that is making you useful to warp to Fort Watten and the war effort, we'll let you get on with it. If you don't seem to be having enough to do, stuff will be found for you to do.
Sure. Oh yeah, and that was another thing. The alchemist's fire, we buried it outside and marked the tree.
You did.
Yeah, we'll remember when we get to fucking the capital and go, oh, we forgot the fucking alchemist's fire.
Well, hey, Whisper's got a keen mind now.
Yeah. Can we make a point that we wouldn't forget it?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll
So I think in character, we could quite easily forget it. Anyway.
Just copy paste it in the first line of your notes every session.
Yeah. I'm going to change my name to Hazim Halif, Alchemist's Fire.
Yeah, you are awake. You are in your bunk.
I'm probably still asleep, like lazy, kind of like teenager type. Just.
Well, Hazim is snoring. I imagine that. Vanessa's pretty early to rise. She didn't get too demolished the last session. And she's actually just going to go ahead and she's not going to wake anyone else up, but she is going to go for a little bit of a walk around the fort.
For breakfast.
Okay.
It's the most important meal of the day.
Anywhere in particular she wants to go and check out, or she's just gonna?
She's first going to head over to the pig pen.
Mm-hmm.
She just wants to see if there's been any disturbances, updates, see if what the vibe is. Making sure that this thing hasn't come back at all. And after that, she'll probably just head to the Bloody Pecker for like a morning drink.
Okay. Getting to the pig pen, you see there are two guards stationed on the wall above it. Both look cold, tired, fed up. They have definitely fallen away from being alert and on edge, and they're in that. Clearly their shift is due to end very soon, and they are just at that point of being so done with it. The pigs have been let out of their sty and are just doing that morning rooting around, very, very vocal as they go.
She won't say anything to the farmers. She will acknowledge them though. She'll look at them and just nod politely. But if nothing looks out of the ordinary beyond that, she'll just head to the pecker.
Okay. Yes, Hazim's having a bit of a sleep and you're doing this. I'd say this is taking about sort of 5-10 minutes for you to get out and head over and inspect. What's Whisper's plan for the morning? Do you think she'd still be asleep, or would she be up and at 'em?
I probably wouldn't wake up with Vanessa, but like shortly after, kind of just stretch and crawl out of under the blankets. I assume there's a wash basin in here, so I'll splash some water in my face and try and smooth down my hair. But after that, I'll just kind of look around, see that Vanessa is missing, and kind of just softly walk over to Hasim and just crouch by the side of his bed and shake his shoulder.
Good morning. Did you sleep well? Oh,
No.
no. Why not? And I'm kind of like speaking, eyes closed, still wanting to go back to sleep, but what was the problem, Whisper?
I believe it is time for us to hasten our attempts to leave this place.
I don't think we're going to go anywhere until they allow us to leave, until they give us a reason to go.
I was hoping until now that my blessings would protect us. But it was made clear yesterday that that is not the case.
And I'll open my eyes and kind of like look up at her now and like swing my feet off the bed. This is more of a, this isn't a lounging around kind of conversation. Like, I think you are right, but we have to have our intentions, but keep them close to our chest.
Yes. I wonder if it isn't in our best interests to search out this... What was it, DM? Gundabar?
Gondagal.
Gundagal. This Gundagal.
Perhaps, but he is a ghost by all accounts. He is not someone that is easily found. Where do you go hunting for ghosts?
We found him once.
He found us.
True. Perhaps we could attempt to replicate.
I think there was word that he had been seen near Silverbass. I am right about that. That's where he'd been seen previously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
A,
like
a number of places, yeah, including I think August. I think it was August who said he'd seen him from afar. Oh no, the guard you're talking to outside seen him from afar when like Silverbass was falling into the ruin. But he's been seen a few places around.
There's like that. It's basically like a bandit camp or something at Silverbass or whatever. Yeah.
Silverbass is the town that, yeah, the main road to Lekar does pass through. It's been lost and fallen to. It's kind of like in a semi-ruined state, and bands of not outright bandits, but kind of outcasts and nomads are all basically large scale like squatting in.
Yeah.
So that brings with it obviously good and bad.
Either way, the protection I was hoping we had does not seem to be a thing, so we should try and work on our way
I will follow your
to
lead
getting
on
out
this.
of here.
I agree, but I am less concerned so much about your safety. I feel you are too useful to them to be harmed. However,
I had hoped that as well, but that was tested yesterday with Arena, and the war sickness here is too great.
I suppose the gifts that they have seen from you, they presume they would still work even if you had all your fingers working and everything else. I do not think they are opposed to harming you, but I do not think they would kill you. But there are worse things than death. This is true.
Yes,
what would-
I would hope not to end up limbless and carried on someone's back.
And what would you have us do? I know that
I think it is best we just keep our eyes open for an opportunity to run.
I do not doubt that we will be sent beyond the gates in no time. The whole thing with this creature and the pigs will be just enough reason for us to leave the fort, if that is what you wish. And perhaps Silverbass is a place that we might find respite while we look for answers, but we would then be considered enemies of Volkovia. We would limit our movement considerably.
Perhaps there is a way we could convince them of our need to go to... What was it, Mephisto? Damn, I'm so bad with the name.
More
What was it you said before? You're like, who is Mr. Phobophiles? I was like, what are you talking about?
That's what I said earlier, yeah.
I was like, I don't know who or what. What? Morfenzi is the settlement that is under the... They haven't used command, but it is where...
It's where the Jellicle cats live.
The what?
It's cats. And
Jellicle cats, dude.
Okay.
Jellicle cats, man.
I've never seen it.
Same.
Mustopheles is a Jellicle cat.
Oh, okay, cool.
Is that James
Corden?
Is that James Corden's cat?
I don't know.
it
I've only
wasn't.
watched the actual show live.
I've seen the Aristocats. That's about it.
It was Idris Elba's cat. Thank you very much.
Again?
It was Idris Elba's cat.
Oh.
Idris Elba was in Cats.
Yes, he was
He's been a cat. He's been an echidna. What a year for him.
Maybe he's a closet furry. Who knows?
Maybe not so closet.
Yeah, furries are the worst,
proud.
right?
Wouldn't know anything about that with this crew, right?
Anyway, yes, Majesto, you're saying you want to go to?
Nito.
Hey, Majesto!
Morfenzi.
Yeah, Morfenzi.
Morfenzi. Perhaps there is a way we can convince them of a need for us to go to Morfenzi, so they believe that we are on our way there.
I think we have put everything into place and shown that we are keen to go there. I imagine they will be waiting on Drakov's word as to whether that is what is planned next for us. But leaving this place, I do not think is difficult. I think the abilities that you, myself, and Vanessa have, even a small retinue of people, I think we could handle ourselves. But once we get to Silverbass, if that is where you're intending, and I am speaking kind of quieter on this one, who is to say we will not see the same thing there? And then we have nowhere.
Nothing is to say that. And we do not have nowhere. There is more land to discover. These people did not even know of magic. Who knows if they know of what really lies out there?
As I say, I will follow you. I'm sworn to protect you. And so that is what I will do. Wherever you choose to go, Whisper, that is fine by me, but let us try and get as much information as we can before we decide to run. That is all I would say.
We should go find Vanessa.
She has a habit of wandering off, and I kind of get up, and I'm always dressed in my armor. There ain't no way that I ever take this off, especially here. So kind of like stretch and grab my glaive. Is it fair? Is it okay if I say that, like, last night I kind of like teared off some strips of bedding or whatever, and I made the same kind of ribbon that I had on my old glaive, so I can just carry it?
I can't imagine it's never broken before. I imagine that would be something that you are used to just fashioning. Yeah, in some way. So it might not be as pretty as when you start up a campaign, but functionally, yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
I
and
don't know how to tie a knot.
I throw the ribbon over and loosely tie off my glaive on my back. I'm like, oh, I had a really good dream last night. I was sparring with somebody for hours and hours and felt like I picked up some new techniques. I might try and
You level down.
Perhaps a new feat?
perhaps I might try and put them to the test at the training area this morning if I get the chance. But anyway, for now we should go and find Vanessa.
Yeah, well, Vanessa actually got to the Pekka a few minutes before this. So yeah, Pekka, you find the Vanessa open. Yeah, you're able to go in. It is none of them.
Gotta buy our dinner first, though. Okay.
None of the candles or lanterns are lit, but enough daylight is spilling through the window that it's still illuminated. And as you open that first door into the foyer, you do hear a quiet voice further inside, just talking in a low conversational tone, and you hear another voice of grunt in reply.
Does the grunt sound or the low voice sound familiar at all?
No.
All right. Then I'm gonna step in quietly,
Yeah.
casually.
Stepping in, you see 3 figures sat at a table. Just in a you can tell it's been like a low conversation, but it hasn't been like a conspiratorial one. It's just been, this place is quiet, it's empty, there's no need to shout. They've just been talking away. You don't recognise any of the figures. It's 2 men and a woman. 2 men and a woman. They are dressed, and I'll give you straight away, you notice one of them is heavily either disfigured or scarred in the face. Difficult to tell at this first glance.
You got a picture of her by any chance?
I've got a picture of them.
Fabulous. I love visual aids.
Yeah. Where are we? Images for sharing. The look of them, they are, and got a bit of license with the art here. They are in that very sort of highwayman, bloodborne style art, but with a bit more of a. Why can't I share it with everyone? That's interesting.
It never happened on Lucas.
Has that come up for all of you?
No.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Did you say no for you, Vanessa?
No.
He looks like a cool, Warhammer character.
That's interesting.
I can see it on stream, but not on my screen.
I got
You
it.
know what? Oh, he does look cool. I'm seeing it on stream too. Not on Foundry, but yes, he looks cool. I like his coat.
How about this one? Did you get that
Yes.
one on yours?
I got her as well.
Did you get that on yours? Sorry, Jack, just to confirm.
No.
No.
Nope.
We have to, look at it on streaming, unfortunately.
I bet I know what she smells like.
Do you reckon it is? Is it is it actually?
What?
Is it Yen? Because obviously it looks like Yen, and that
Yeah,
line alone
for
makes
It
me
looks like
think.
Yennefer.
Her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
And yeah, one who is quite disfigured or scarred. And you do see the very sort of like bloodborne hat on the table for one of them, and they're just talking.
Little tricorn hat kind of thing.
Yeah, they're talking away, and you see they have flagons on the table, and Dennis, you can hear Dennis in the kitchen, and all 3 of them just turn to look at you.
Good morning.
And the first chap sort of turns, and he's quite large compared to the others, just turns and gives you like the up head to good morning.
DM, do these folks look like they're from around here given the quality of the dress and weapons and all of
It's
that?
definitely different to everything you've seen so far. However, it still undeniably contains like red sashes with like that falcon on. It is clearly a type of Falconian military dress, just not one you've seen before. All three of them are lacking the facial tattoo that you associate with Talon officers.
She'll carefully approach, keeping a distance, but a respectful distance. But she will step a couple feet closer to them, and looking at them, she will go, I hope it's not too early for questions, and I don't mean to intrude, but it doesn't look like you're from here, at least not members of this battalion? Militia?
There's like an eyebrow raised for a moment for, so you are one of this company from beyond the mists?
Yes, well, something of the sort.
And it seems it is your fault we are here.
Is it?
Indeed. We have ridden through the night to collect something of great importance that we were informed has come here, and we are to transport it back to Morfenzi.
Oh. Yes, that. Well. And she's going to go ahead and take a couple steps closer. Is there like a seat available?
Yeah, as you take a step forward, he kind of gives a rough kick to the one unoccupied chair, and like it just scoots out a little bit for you. I think it's a bit of a...
Thank you. A gentleman. And,
the other two laugh in a way that suggests they know that this person is not a gentleman.
Yeah. And she'll kind of smile and chuckle to herself when the others do. But she'll sit and... So, are you tasked with just bringing this thing back to Morfenzi? Do you have any other tasks while you're here?
And the woman sort of leans forward. Why would we be privy to tell you this?
Well, because I was one of the ones who helped catch that thing.
This is very
In
good.
fact, the reason that thing is defenseless now is because of me.
How do you mean? And at this point, Whisper and Hazim enter the doorway, and you see Vanessa sat with these three figures.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch any of your names. It's dreadfully rude of me. Vanessa Lucidia, and she won't extend her hand, but she will kind of bow her head.
The larger man, the main one you've been talking to, goes, Primrose.
When he says that, she'll extend her hand to him, like wrist up.
Despite he just gives it a good old shake. He doesn't go for doesn't take it. He just, not unkindly, not like he's doing it deliberately, more like he didn't notice. Just goes and sort of, unless you're fighting it, like inadvertently, just turns
just
your hand
awkwardly, like fist bump.
The woman just sort of Turina van Venderhelden, and the scarred gentleman says, Valstagar.
Well, I should introduce you to my companions then, turning around, seeing Whisper and Hazim coming in, and she'll wave them over.
Okay, here we go. And I walk over and I will just drag a chair. I'll drag two chairs from a nearby table. I'm presuming all the chairs around this table are taken.
Before you tell me more, I would like all of you to make a perception check. Make me a perception check. Whisper and Hazim can make it with advantage.
Whisper gets her +2, yeah?
Yeah, and
skill checks?
yeah. So actually, Whisper gets +2, but she also doesn't get it at advantage because Tony gave her disadvantage. So
Why? Hold on.
Cole give you
Can I not
+2.
roll?
Yeah, I'm having a similar issue. I'm just gonna reload.
Yeah, you guys click
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. clearly we don't exist anymore in this game.
So
we now know
just-
how this episode ends.
He just kept the most important person.
So yeah,
Don't
so
worry, I'll carry it.
so
I'll
Hazim,
carry
yours is at advantage.
Okay.
Luca, when you're back in, yours is +2.
Are you
but
wanting
regular.
me to use my +2 now?
Wait,
Does she
it's
have to- is it on the
it's
next one?
It says on next save, doesn't it?
Oh, all right.
Is it save or is it just
Check.
Hey,
check or
TPK
save.
made the rules, Luca.
Yeah.
Harrison
That's
is
right.
victim of your own
Fine,
success.
Literal sons of bitches, man. Just
Okay.
on the next one.
Hazim gets an 18.
I will roll as soon as this loads back.
Yeah,
in,
that's fine.
sorry.
I presume
Same.
Vanessa's in the same boat. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
With an 18, I will give to you, Hazim, and then if you roll well enough, either of the other two, you would notice this yourself. You're used, Hazim and Whisper, with your, well, particularly Hazim, with your bestial features, or in Hazim's case, outright being a fucking fox. You have definitely noticed in this very, very human, low magic place that you have gotten looks from people of shock or surprise.
That's
The-
19 for finesse.
Yes, it is. The look that passes very, very fleetingly between these three people upon seeing you and to a lesser degree Whisper enter is not that usual sort of shock, but is a different sort of more like a
You want to test perfume and lipstick on me?
more of a like look passing between each other as opposed to the what the hell is this? There is
I see it.
there is a bit more to their reaction.
Okay.
Are you still loading, Luca? Oh no, she's back.
I'm back.
28.
Jesus.
Jeez.
Yeah, you can perceive what they had.
Disgusting.
You can perceive what they had for fucking breakfast, Luca. Yeah.
Through time and space.
Yeah. So yeah, you and in fact, I'd give with that extra bit, Luca, that the look they sort of throw each other, and this is kind of broached more into an insight across this role for all of you anyway. You get that very much sense that the glance between them is referring to an earlier conversation in like a "oh, you see" sort of thing.
Alright. My reputation precedes me. It's standard. People talking about Hazim wherever he goes.
But yeah, so Hazim's pulling chairs over, you say.
Yeah, I'll pull two over, one for me and one for Whisper. And as I kind of see this exchange, I'm going to place mine slightly more. I'm going to position it so I'm a bit more in front of Whisper, so she's kind of like, I feel like I'm securely more in front of her a little bit.
Okay.
But obviously, I'm going to turn my chair around and sit on it from the back over the top because, you know,
Yeah.
kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal in these parts. And,
I will just sit quietly
Hold on, because-
in the chair.
It took a few seconds
Oh.
that my headset did back usual, so you're charging me, thing, are you? Okay, it's back. Go on, Luca, you were speaking?
And then I win. I will sit quietly. Sit quietly in the chair, just kind of looking around to each of these three, but not really saying anything. I'll just sit down.
Do they have drinks at the table?
Yes.
Wow, early starters. I will kind of like look at them, look at their drinks, and say, it would be rude to meet new friends and allow them to drink alone. Might I join you for a drink as well?
Go for it.
And I look over to Dennis, and I look at Whisper, and I kind of cast a glance at Whisper and Vanessa, presuming they might not have a drink, but you know.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
Vanessa
definitely
doesn't have
don't
a
have a drink yet.
Yeah, Vanessa doesn't have anything.
And I look at you want a drink? To Whisper. You want a drink? You want a drink?
No, but thank you. How about Primrose?
I just hold my hand up to Dennis, just for two.
Such an interesting name. So, Again, these are my companions. It's Hazim. This is Whisper. And she'll look back at Whisper, kind of, unless Whisper you say otherwise. There was like maybe a sort of a bit of a tick of recognition when you realized that they were talking about probably you. And she'll turn back from Whisper to Primrose. But I can't help but feeling that you might already be somewhat familiar with us.
Well, we know that you have arrived, supposedly from a place similar to Veret Junel, that you have been of some small service so far, that one of you, he points between Whisper and Hazim, has interesting capabilities. But more importantly, and as to our purpose here, you have secured an oddity which we have been commanded to return to Morfenzi as soon as the captain will meet with us.
I look between those.
Dennis
By
comes
chance-
over with your drinks. Dennis looks tired and distracted. Doesn't look like he slept. He just puts your cups down and just mutters like a morning platitude and heads off. He seems distracted. Primrose continues waiting for you to speak.
I don't suppose you were told that we would be returning to Motenzi with you.
Nothing of the sort.
Okay. I don't think it required a laugh or anything. It's
I just wonder why you would think this. Why you think you would be brought in to Morfenzi.
because we are the ones that found the creature. We have spoken to it the most. There may be questions that are asked of us that we could not recall at the time. You know that one of our people here has abilities that I believe that your Dr. Silas?
You're thinking of the Wrath of the Sea Kraken adventure there from
I am.
Crucible Magazine 0001.
I actually, Dr. Peter!
Yes.
Dr. Peter might be interested in. So yes, there are plenty of reasons why I think it's safe to presume why we
There
might...
are two ways to gain entry to Morfenzi. Either at the command of Drakov, or at the invitation of a good doctor. Your service in securing this oddity is appreciated, but unless I hear an order from Drakov, or unless the doctor informs me to extend an invitation to you, even were you to march with us, holding hands with Valakar here, the guards would turn you away at the door.
Well, I'm sure after we have shared the drink and you've found out what good drinking partners we are, that you will be asking Peter for that invitation.
That may be the case. Which one of you has these abilities?
I'm very skilled at fighting, I must admit.
The one of this sky entity and who produces flame from hand.
Yes, I believe you're referring to me.
Oh. Very well. And yet you have the more animalistic appearance to Hazim.
I do?
So these abilities are not related to the change upon you.
No. There is
Change.
no change. This is how I was born. You are aware that there are things beyond the mist that are different to Falkovnia.
Yes, I have met the champion many times. He has spoken of elves and dogs, but you are more fur than flesh. Forgive me. It is interesting
Enough,
to
it
me.
is fine. My people are not well known from place to place anyway. That is... Oh, yeah. And the place where the champion is from, well, perhaps he has heard of me even less. But there are many of us. We are not quite the oddity where I am from.
And you? To whisper. I see that he is obviously... And he sort of leans forward to Hazim for a moment. Forgive me, you are male?
I am, yes.
It is difficult to it's difficult to tell. This one clearly is a fox or wolf to my eyes, but I cannot tell. Have you always been as you are? Have you been changed in some way? This is more to whisper.
There has been no change. This is how I have always been.
Most interesting. And you can both tell that he genuinely does think these are not just like nice to meet you platitudes. He is trying to, if anything, suppress how interested he is in both of you. Most interesting indeed. We jest, we laugh, but it may be that you do find yourself invited to Morfensia eventually.
Well, if it's any incentive, should we get an invite and should you escort us, well, then you get to learn more about my companions. I can see that you're intrigued.
It's a professional capacity, but I'm sure you're very interesting people. I'm sure you have many stories from a land not beset by the deceased, but...
Jim, are there candles at this table I can light?
There are many candles and lanterns. None of them are currently lit. Are you about to thaumaturgia up?
No, I would use Druidcraft, because that's what I've got on my ring.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll just flick on the candles really quick, and just say, we would love the opportunity to travel and teach you more.
And as I'm picking up my mug to casually have a drink, I say, but the question is, would we be invited as guests or experimental subjects? And I'm going to eyeball and I'm going to go for an insight to see on anybody's reactions as I say it. Ooh. We saw your roll, by the way.
Yeah.
This is
You
good.
see all three of them cast glances between each other. Not immediate like a, oh shit, they're onto us, but more of like a, okay. And the disfigured one, Valstegar, leans forward and says, and what have you heard about that?
Just that the good doctor likes to experiment on the dead creatures. And I'm sure that the likes of us that are oddities, we are sure that Falkovnia will do whatever it takes to try and win this war. Hopefully not at our expense, but...
It is not necessarily at an expense. I have worked with the doctor. So just gestures to his face a little bit. A small price to pay for the ability to safeguard Falkovnia all the better.
What kind of abilities did he give you?
We have worked together. He's tried a number of different tools and methods over the years. He's given me the ability to draw upon strength enough to cut a swath through the undead. It requires refinement, of course,
It is why only the trusted, the reliable, work with him. Otherwise every soldier in Falkovnia would have the strength.
Do your companions have the strength? And she looks to Primrose and Yennefer.
And he looks quite Yennefer. He looks quite proud for a moment and sort of like even tries to give a bit of a shoulder roll. Like,
They do not.
She casts a little bit of a judgmental smirk at the other two, and then goes back to Velstigar. So what do you say? What is it going to take for us to get an invite?
We're taking your corpse back today, which you found. We'll see what the good doctor makes of it. We'll tell him about your companions. I think he'll be interested in both of you. Just to get to know you more better. Some questions. The gift he has given to me does have a somewhat bestial nature. Which is why the two of you catch the eye, draw an interest. May I...
he leans forward. Not like Lona's, but he's trying to get a bit closer.
As a show of faith, may I take a vial of one of your blood to present to the doctor, so that he and Strahd can inspect it and see if you are... if you have the same potential for the gift?
One moment.
Vanessa very, very gently, almost seductively, puts her hand on top of Valstigar's.
He draws it back immediately. Doesn't look unkind. It is clear he does not want to be touched, but he kind of doubles down with a friendly smile to make it clear that...
My apologies. I was overly familiar. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. This is an interesting proposition. However, I have a better one. Say we just come with you, and given the increasingly dangerous and, well, sentience of these creatures that are stalking the woods, you and your companions are clearly capable of dealing with the old things, the old creatures, the old dead. There is something new out there, though, and it would benefit all of us, you all in particular, for bringing back this prize, to have us escort you. We can lend our abilities in defense and offense, and we can make sure that this prize, this talking prize, this prize that can communicate with others of its kind, does not somehow corral others while we travel. And that way, when we arrive, we can introduce ourselves to the doctor and what did you say his name was? Strahd.
Yes, the lab assistant.
Oh, the lab assistant. Well, we can introduce ourselves directly and they can negotiate our blood from us that way.
No, that won't work. As I said, command or invitation only. Were we to rock up with the three of you,
Rock up.
we'd find ourselves on spikes.
There has to be something more that you can do.
Yes, we will return. We will relay your keenness to visit upon the doctor, and if he finds it prudent, he will dispatch an invite to you. This is the way it is.
I do not doubt that we will be invited at some point or another.
I don't know about references, Luca.
The DNA testing.
Jesus. Okay. The God damn it, you and renaming people in this campaign. I just keep thinking Yennefer now. Tarina leans forward for a moment. It is very hasty trying to make these decisions, especially so early in the morning. Have you even had breakfast yet? And she stares you dead in the eye, Vanessa, she says it.
No, I'm not really a morning person, as far as breakfast is concerned, or eating. You have no need to worry about me, though. I'm all right.
Very well. Everybody becomes hungry, though.
Everyone does, yes.
When are you set to return to Morthensi?
After we've refreshed and our horses have rested, we go to the keep.
How long is the journey to get back there?
We rode for the night, a good 10 hours on horseback.
What if you were to stay another night in the fort? Head back early tomorrow. Perhaps there is a creature that has been harassing the fort, killing the pigs. It has been suggested that perhaps we would go and help. What if the three of you or one of you were to accompany us on this journey, see our good friends here, their abilities in person, and perhaps expedite the invite from Dr. Pieter once you have seen what she can do.
And Primrose, this is grunt work.
Yeah, I agree.
We are of Morfenzi. We have
We are
risen
beyond the mist.
this.
We are beyond the mist, which is a lot further than Mafenzi. And yet, we do what we must for Falkovnia.
Yes, you do what you must. We must not do this. We have more important matters to attend to in Morfenzi.
You speak for the three of you then.
You tell them the three of them look. They all think it's quite an unusual request to that. You definitely get the air that these people, they definitely consider themselves to be of an elite, separate. For them, this is like, oh, you're in the. I don't know. Yeah, you get what I mean. They are just like, they're very like, no, I did my time in the academy.
And I get that vibe off them.
Yeah.
I think you're misconstruing the task versus what it is that you might be able to witness firsthand. There is a difference between going to killing creatures, which any of us could do on any day of the week, but seeing what the abilities are that have already reached as far as Mofenzi. Seeing them firsthand? It was just a thought.
I've just seen you. Looks at Whisper. And did you just do the candle in front of you, or did you do like all the ones in the room before when you flame on?
Just did the one in front of me. I'm not trying to put on a light show.
Yeah, it's like, this is impressive enough already.
If you say so.
I have heard reports of your abilities, martial and otherwise. He casts an eye across the three of you as he says that.
Very well, then I suppose we'll adhere to protocol. You're part of an order or something. You clearly have some sort of rank above those of us here.
Morfenzen agents would be the correct way, but the garb and the hat is not enough to give it away. Fashion souls.
Yeah, absolutely. I want that coat. Actually, she'll look at who's the one that isn't.
Oh yeah, you're out your coat, aren't you? You haven't
Yeah.
had your trademark coat. Yeah, of course. The three of them are Primrose, Tarina, and Valscar.
Primrose. Yeah, Primrose. How could I forget? She'll look at Primrose and kind of finger his lapel. It's a fine jacket. You know, I had one that was quite fine as well before I got here. Is there some way that you'd be able to, I don't know, acquire one for me? I can compensate.
I tell you what. If you ever do get invited to Morfenzi, make sure you're given a coat if I'm there.
You
I
promise.
grab my glass and go, to coats!
Goats. But she'll actually put a sort of playfully smile. You promise.
He...
I'll roll persuasion if you
Goats.
want.
Yeah, okay. Don't bother, Jack. The polar opposites. You can tell that he's quite cool. He kind of leans away a little bit and shrugs it off. But you can see like the slight flush under the jawline, and the very this is someone who is really his manner and what he says is very brusque and shrugging you off. But you could tell you got under his skin a bit in a good way. He's like, no promises. It's unseemly to place your hands upon a Morfenzen agent.
There's definitely a little bit of a hunger that that crosses her eyes when she realizes that. Well, I look forward to it.
And he makes a bit of a show of
Jim?
standing slowly, sort of bringing us up to his full height over you while you're sat a little bit. Before he speaks, yes, Whisper?
Just while Vanessa's doing this, can I just very coolly try and never mind?
Well, what are you
I
trying
was
to do?
gonna look at Chick's face and just see, after her hunger comments, I just wanted to see how she is sizing up this interaction.
After what hunger comments?
Yen was making comments to Vanessa about getting hungry.
Honest question.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that's something Whisper would be thinking of?
Shit.
Or is that more of a Luca observation?
You fucking meta. Unbelievable. I
Shit!
expect
No,
more.
No, yeah, no, it's fine.
I expect
Yeah?
more of TPK. This is not quality.
Then can I change my every time that Hazim slipped up and said their abilities, referring to both of us instead of just me? Can I size up their reactions?
Well, we all have
Yeah, okay.
abilities. I've just accepted that I've got abilities.
Yeah,
And
but you
they-
kept saying like they should come and should see their abilities, and it's like it's just me, Hazim, X-nay on the abilities. Hey,
Remind me.
Well,
What
you
was
say
the
this.
in-character explanation given for the acid damage? It wasn't fessed up to being Vanessa, was it?
No, I said it was. We had a potion that we'd brought beforehand, and they
Yes.
were like, "Oh, this would have been useful."
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
yeah. So far we've kept.
So they said we know that the three of you have abilities. All three of you.
Mm-hmm. They did.
Yeah, and then you were like,
she also
"Yes,
said Marshall,
let's go."
though, so
Yeah.
Yeah, and others, and like looking directly at you and
Magic,
me. So
Marshall, and Sassy.
yeah. So I'm trying to see like, because out of character and in character, I'm aware how many times Hazim was like, "Come tomorrow to hunt the bear with us, and you will see these two's magnificent powers."
I never
it's
said
just
these
like-
two. I never said these two. Don't start trying to build upon it because you're trying to cover yourself because you've just gone meta. Don't try to throw me under the fucking bus. Drag me with you. This
Meta.
is unbelievable.
Trying to see how much they seem to know about Vanessa.
Metastopheles.
We've done really well. Shit. Because we've done really well at hiding Vanessa's powers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you definitely think you
something
have.
seems to
Yeah,
be going on. They're like, yeah, right. Exactly.
No, you can't. Okay,
Right,
you
with a
can.
10
Okay,
insight.
you can. It was a 10. Let me roll it for her. Because it is also quite a vague, sort of all-encompassing thing you're asking to...
I mean, it's a 10 to an 8.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell. As this
You beat them by.
as this exchange is happening, she is clearly paying attention to them both, watching their sort of exchange. She does seem to be interested and observant on Vanessa's part of this conversation.
Now that you
That's
mentioned
all.
it.
That's all you get
This
with an
was Schrodinger's fucking roll.
No, I'll roll back the
Wasn't
meta.
interesting.
However,
No,
I
please,
am
please don't spend any
legitimately-
more time on this, Luca.
Meta rolled back. I am very concerned that they know that she has magic as well, though.
That would make sense.
I mean, it's doable. Like the entire Curse of Strahd campaign was basically anything we did. Fucking everybody knew about anyway.
Don't worry, and this will be no different.
I mean, we've got Strahd in it, so yeah.
Well, out of character, I mean,
Do you know
If
the difference?
there is, if we're in the Demiplane and there is a Dark Lord,
Yeah.
would they have the same ability to, like, kind of always know what's going on in their realm? Kind of
I
thing?
mean,
So,
it's hard to say, right? You just don't know.
We've never met the Dark Lord, so
Just
you know.
don't know
Right.
what abilities
But in
the Dark
character-
Lords have.
I have a question though.
Yes,
Um,
Vanessa.
Does Hazim have beans?
So many beans, pockets full of them. Beans for days.
Like
Like little beans,
cat
you know?
pads.
Little cat pads.
I do tippy taps. I've got mittens on when it's snowy, so when we go to Barovia. I'm like, ah, ah.
Whenever he gets into bed, he does that big fox jump, put like the head down, pounce into her covers.
I mean, that's just the cutest, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're a chicken.
Or a rabbit.
Yeah. Ooh. So he stands. He's like, looks to the others, and you can tell he's still a bit flustered, Vanessa, but he's trying to play it off as being very, very fed up and brusque. And I imagine to Whisper and Hazim, who haven't got that under the skin insight to him at the moment, it definitely seems like he is abruptly just stood and we're leaving. To the other two, he's like, it's good to meet you both, you all. Perhaps we'll meet again.
Some more than others.
And the other two.
I hope it's more of a guarantee than
stand.
perhaps.
He does not reply. You have got under this guy's fucking skin. But yeah, to Whisper and to Hazim, it seems for a moment like Vanessa's fucked up and offended him, and the three of them leave, picking their tricorns up. One of them pulls a collar up a little bit, and they head out, leaving you alone in the Bloody Pecker.
I do like a little bit of a wave. Well, that was interesting.
who else is in this tavern, GM?
Just you and, what you can
Dennis?
tell, Dennis.
Okay.
Sad Dennis. Wonder why he's sad.
Back in a minute.
Okay. Dennis. No, Whisper, go on.
I was just gonna lean over to Vanessa. Did you say something to upset him?
No, but I think I did something to arouse him.
Oh. And still no invitation.
That is troublesome, but I don't know, DM. I don't know if I could make like an insight to see if the way that I interacted with him, if that would have an effect on
Jack,
how...
you got a nat 20 against his
Okay.
nat 1. Tell me what you want to know.
Well, I wanted to know that like he was going to actively pursue getting us an invitation.
I wouldn't say you'd get that from him. You definitely got a sense that he was a bit shocked at how thrilled he was by the flirt, and he very, very much attempted to overcompensate for it by brusquely ending the interaction, trying to save some face. I would say, based on your experience with other people in the past and your charisma and these sort of situations, you could have every confidence that this interaction will linger on his mind heavily and perhaps may influence future decision making on his part. He may no longer think entirely with his head in this regard.
He's going to go
He's not
home and
the top
split
one.
up. He's going back to Northenzi and split up his
said,
wife and leave his children for you.
Doctor,
Good job.
Doctor, my balls are so blue. I beseech you.
I need draining. Siphon them.
So yeah, you are confident that you are firmly on this man's mind now. Even though ostensibly he tries to very much make a show of it.
Yeah. Sorry, what was the question, Whisper?
I don't remember.
Are you thirsty?
No, but that guy is.
Can you blame him?
I forget what I was saying though. Genuinely.
You asking if he was, did you offend him? And she was like, no, I aroused him.
Yeah. But I was
He
gonna
stood
say
up. Did you
something
not see his
after that, but I don't
boner
remember.
when he left the table? Did you not see how he knocks the mugs over as he steps?
Holding his tricord in front of him.
Without his hands.
He's holding his tricord in front of him as he scratches his head and shakes Azim's hand and carries his 20 donuts.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all carried a tricorn.
I know I have.
Quite a few in my day.
So yes, they leave.
So we're the only ones in here. We're the only
You and Dennis.
patrons.
You're the only patrons, absolutely. There's no music. Keldon, whatever his fucking name was, is not around playing music currently.
I mean, I don't know his routine.
I wonder where he went.
I don't know whether he's in every night anyway, so I wouldn't be like thinking much of it.
Do you want more drinks?
No, we've got. Is there any left in their drinks? Did they? Because they seem to leave a.
Yeah, there'll be a bit left in two of their cups.
I just kind of pull them in. And I just start pouring them into my tankard.
It's early. Do you want bread? With some meat?
Yes.
Okay.
Just bread, please.
Right. Yes. It's okay. And for you, need locks eyes of you, Vanessa.
Do you
Nothing
want some
for me,
sun?
thank you.
Pardon?
Nothing for me, but thank you.
And he just sort of nods and drifts off over to the bar and begins to put a couple of bowls together.
Yeah, her eyes definitely linger a bit as he's walking away on him. But when he's closer to the bar, she'll drop back down and direct her attention back at the others.
Yeah, I don't think Hazim is necessarily socially aware enough to pick up on this guy being a little bit morose. So I'm just kind of free drink.
Here's your breakfast. Sorry, I'm a little morose this morning. Then he comes and puts the bowls down without a word and just walks off.
Sighs heavily,
Crying into the soup.
Nobody
Yeah,
one
one question mark above his head.
Yeah, he pops the bowls down and just goes back.
Thank you, Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we doing with our day while we wait for them to return with our invitations?
It depends
You
whether you
think
want to
it'll
try and
be
have an
that
easy day. We can try and have an easy day and they put us on guard duty, which is a bit boring. Or we go and find out what's going on with this owlbear creature, which might be more entertaining and gives us a story, gives us a little bit more, I don't know, clout in the fort.
you are wanting to do that.
I'm always
I'll
up for
do
a
that.
fight. I could literally die here. It is the most boring place I've ever been.
Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that.
No. Well, if I'm going to die, then I'd sooner to be on my own volition and going hunting some great creature that everybody's terrified about. Imagine bringing the head of that creature back here and saying, hey, your pigs are safe. It would be heroes, more than bringing in the talking thing. It might buy us some extreme goodwill, at least. Or, probably not. I think almost it would just be expected that that is the kind of thing you do.
Either way, expected or bonus. I'm fine with pursuing that if you are.
What have you, Ness?
I'm not married to any particular idea, though. Clout can be a powerful currency.
I get itchy feet. Itchy feet. People do not
Itchy
know
beans.
yet quite how great Hazim is.
Vanessa kind of tilts her head, cocks her head a bit, wanting to say something.
And I look at
Thinks
her
better
like
of
the look of curiosity on her face, like, oh, just to confirm, pretty great. And I raise my glass with a straw in it.
Sure. I'm sure, yes. Well, I suppose that we've nothing better to do other than wait around to be tasked with something. I mean, maybe we show initiative and go there ourselves and before they try to send us out there anyway.
I mean, I don't know if we're allowed to leave the gates, but sure, let us just try and we go find it. A nice surprise for everybody this evening if they're eating on foul owlbear head. Let's us put something on the spikes ourselves as opposed to something that they put up there.
The door, which hadn't been closed ever properly, just sort of left ajar, pulls open as a guard, just standing, dressed guard, steps in. Doesn't come fully in, just turns, calls over to the bar. I can't remember his name. Dennis! Dennis! He sort of looks up and sees Dennis is very much full of just like, doesn't want to say. And he's like, nothing. Anything from you? Have you seen anything? He's like, still like, no, nothing. It's like, I'll keep looking, but if he's deserted, he takes a bit of more step inside. He's like, my hands will be tied. It will not be good for you to have birthed a deserter. And he's like, yes. But he would not have fled. He would not have fled. He's like, I'll keep looking, but that's all I'm saying. And
Overhearing this.
the boat just kind of comes a bit of an awkward silence and a bit of a. And Magard
overhearing
just
this,
drifts out.
Vanessa kind of stiffens up a bit. Well, if we're to set out, we should probably do so sooner than later. Hazim, finish your drink.
Hazim finished the drinks of all of those people who were just Hazim just fucking mind sweeping.
Well, I mean, it seemed like a good idea until, we agreed that we were going to go and try and hunt down this creature. I probably won't do all these drinks right before going out. I like a nice drink, but I'm not an idiot.
I just meant your drink, not the others.
I mean, technically they are all mine now, right? Finders keepers. That is the rule. I just give a little smile and give a bit of I point over with my thumb to Dennis, and you see little beans on my thumb. Little puppy bean. Yeah. What do I make of that? Sound like the boy's gone missing, maybe? I say the boy. How old was he?
Mid-20s.
Okay. The man the NPC whose name I can't remember at the moment was gone missing. I'm gonna find the DM. Sorry, I've got it in the notes. I've got all the notes.
Caheb.
What did
K-E-H-E-B.
Kebab.
I was just gonna say, what did you last eat?
Yeah, it was kebab. It was kebab.
Kebab. Yeah.
Um,
I think Caleb was missing. I did not see him last night. Now that I think of it.
no, I haven't seen him at all. It sounds like he might have deserted.
Perhaps this strange bear creature got him.
I mean, we would know if anybody. I thought they said they did not know where it was. I didn't know that anybody was hunting it. And when we last spoke of Caleb, he seemed quite stoic about doing his duty on the wall. He was a guard as well, yes.
I believe so, yes.
Jim, has my bread come back?
A while ago? Yeah, he brought it back and put it down.
Okay,
and-
ages ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it's stale now. Stale now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did come over and went.
That's right.
Quest.
You left his diary open on the table.
So sad.
Yeah. But yeah, your bread's been.
Okay, cool.
And he's drifted into the kitchens now.
He's carved a
Once
message
I
into it
finish
saying
it,
Caleb
I will just-
missing in the bread.
And I'm very sad about it. Once I am finished with the bread, I will just stand up, kind of expectantly. I'm ready when you are.
Ines will stand up and look down at Hazim.
Yeah, I will finish my drink and then I'll stand up. And we all start walking out of the tavern, and then I will stop and look to the bar at Dennis and say, "Is everything all right, Dennis? You seem troubled. There are more breadcrumbs leading to you than there were to my fucking table with all the bread."
My boy's missing. Haven't seen him. Well, he wasn't in his room yesterday. Didn't work with me in the evening. Still did not come home last night. Regards. Think he has fled, but I know my boy better.
Speaking to him, he did not seem unhappy about the situation here.
No.
Not like the huddled whispers we sometimes see from the farmers. They seem to be...
Yeah, just worried about taking the blame for the missing swine, as well they should. And sort of, even when you're inside the building, you know that he's kind of gesturing in the direction of the spikes outside the front gates. But my boy did his duty, thrived in his downtime and his music. He would not flee. He would not run to Lekar. If you see him, if you hear anything about him, you remember him, yes, with short red hair.
Yes, we spoke to him.
Yes.
We spoke to him that night.
If you see him, please tell him to come home. I know that he would not desert. So if he does not return, I know it means that he is dead, and they will seek to end me for birthing a deserter, and I will accept it. For if my boy is dead, what is the point of me being here?
You do much for the people here.
This is a tavern. There will already be some loyal guard in the captain or in Drakov's favor who has bone spurs or a desire to not be a malign anymore, who would thrive for the chance to run a tavern instead. I will be swiftly replaced.
Then, if it is to be, I'd suggest you pick up a sword and head out beyond the fort and do what you can for the Karkulnia.
I did for over 40 years.
Then you are well practiced.
I'm tired. I must wait here in case my boy returns. He may need me to explain something or to fight his case, but please keep an eye out for him, all of you.
Of course. And DM, I'm gonna throw out there because I've only got an intelligence of 12. I'm gonna roll an intelligence check. Can I just set my own DC on it for just making a character decision?
Sure.
I'm gonna go DC 18 on this.
If you make a connection?
Yeah. I think it's high enough. So it wouldn't be. Yep. I like it. If I see him, then we'll make sure to get word through. I'm sure he'll be fine.
He does not reply, just nods and goes back to his business, seeming very distracted.
And I will kind of like walk out. I don't know whether they hovered, whether the others hovered, or whether I'm catching them up. As I gather, seems the boy has disappeared. He's not been seen since the night that we saw him. Imagine that you were one of the last people to see him, Venice. Just said innocently, nothing to it, no presumptions, nothing, because I rolled an intelligence 11.
Yes, I don't know what would have happened. I hope he didn't desert for the sake of his father.
You heard something? Is it something to you?
I'm sorry?
He would desert because of his father, did you say?
No, I meant for the sake of his father's safety, to not desert.
Yeah.
Well, if we see anything or hear anything, whatever our feelings here, a man and his son, I think it is fair to say that we'll do our best to help there where we can.
Of course.
And at this point, as you're outside the inn, preparing to go on your possibly owlbear hunting venture, we will take a 10-minute break. And we will be back shortly. So yeah, join us in 10. We'll see you shortly.
Then, balls, why would you do that?
And we're back.
I attack Vanessa. Sentinel strike.
So, you are in Fort Watten. You have stepped out of the bloody pecker. And it would seem that you have resolved to go and try and hunt the creature that is offing the livestock. You can see from this distance, looking down, looking across before, you can just see the three figures, the three more Fenzi agents entering the keep, the main stone keep. The rest of the fort is yours. What are we doing? Where are we going? How are we feeling? What are we thinking?
I mean, we don't really need the provisions, do we? Or
nah. There's no magic. There's no potions readily available.
yeah, I've got plenty of crossbow bolts left.
Luca, what are your hit points looking like? You hit dice.
Average.
You hit dice. You hit dice. Okay for healing us.
What are my hit dice?
You'd have gained half when you rested.
Real shit, because we're level 4, so I won't worry too much about it.
Listen, it's basically just to make you not dead. That's really what it is.
Yeah. Because you didn't take the fucking bait of that pool creature. Drink it! As it was like the Abyss, the film The Abyss, where this water thing come out trying to go inside your mouth, and you're like, no. No.
I don't get that reference, but that sounds horrifying. And
The Abyss is beautiful. It's
Ed Harris is there like, drink it!
Yeah.
Drink it. Just drink it. Like, no, I'm good.
Oh, no.
So go on, what are we doing?
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, the three of us are walking. It's like we just go. We just try and track this thing down. We go. I mean, it seems strange going through the gate when we know that there's tracks over there. Perhaps we just climb the wall. Nobody's going to stop us. If we look like we're doing something and we say, "Hey, we're going to go and kill this creature because it's killing the pigs," then
You can climb the wall if you like. I will exit
can.
the gate like a civilized person and meet you there on the other side.
You're saying I'm uncivilized because I look like an animal, Vanessa.
You would have seen that although you have these like
palisade walls and like the watchtowers. Next to each watchtower, there are a set of wooden steps, so you can get up onto like the parapet of this this palisade wall from within the town just by heading over to one of the guard towers.
Does it look a little bit like
Gulliver's World?
Right,
Yeah, it does look a lot like just behind you. Very much so.
Then I'm gonna head. I said we should probably inspect. I know we've had a look at it, but better to follow the tracks from where we know they exist than trying to pick them up somewhere along the river. The river is much bigger than this segment of the wall. Vanessa is clearly offended. Just walked off. Unbelievable. I cannot find my accent. I feel like I go too Russian now. Try to go in the middle somewhere. But I'm not going to experiment with Russians while I'm live streaming. Experiment with accents.
So is this? Well, tell us what you're doing first of all.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over to where the farm. I'm gonna walk over to the farm. Oh, who's rolling that? I'm gonna walk over to the farm area. I think. I don't know whether Vanessa is following off. Whether she's gonna go through the gates.
So I mean, are you just going up there to check, or are you going up there to jump down?
I mean, how high were they? Like what, 30 feet or something?
The walls, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can rappel 30 feet if I need to. So
Yeah, I'll meet you on the other side.
Ooh,
So
okay.
to confirm, Whisper.
We're splitting up.
So Whisper and Hazim are heading to like what, the farm to start looking from there, and Vanessa is trying to head out of the gates to walk around and meet them on the other side. Do I have that correct?
I think so.
Vanessa?
Maybe.
You look thoughtful.
Let me look at the map again.
Because you have to go so the farm is to the west, like it's the far wall, and the gate is the far east wall. You're
Yeah. That's why I'm like, Vanessa will roll her eyes. Fine. And we'll follow the other two.
Peer pressure.
Is where I'm pinging correct?
Yes.
So,
But yeah, I am following Hazim, and I am basically just attempting to see if there's anything that can be tracked.
So if you remember,
is this the thing? Is it like a watchtower here that leads up onto the thing?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So, as a reminder, you have seen a number of tracks, and you've also had other tracks reported to you. You can see that there is heavy claw damage, deep gouges in the wood of like the palisades around this area. There is a very, very clear entry point and exit point from the fort of a large beast that is quite close. And you can almost see that although they haven't been snapped off, there's a little bit of displacement from like the palisades, and the creature that's come over and pushed itself over these spikes is heavy and strong. The entry point is undeniable.
And these are essentially fresh because those people weren't on the wall when we left, were they? They were on the wall when we came back, so they're like a day old, basically, or a night because we stayed over a night. So
we stayed overnight.
Yeah. So it was the night. So basically,
less than 40 hours.
The night
correct.
before.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then,
But this happened the last night that you stayed in town.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought it was the night that we stayed
I
over.
thought it was while we were out that happened.
No.
Oh. So okay. It just wasn't mentioned, and nobody had been spiked because of it by that point.
Correct.
It got spiked after we'd left. Okay. Correct. Okay, cool. Then, okay, I'm going to head to the watchtower. Unless I'm stopped, kind of like start heading up the steps.
There's a bit of interest, but you're not leapt on and accosted.
Yeah.
People clearly watching you, wondering what you're up to. You're obviously not lost.
Yeah, no, I'll
you
just
come in
say, we decided to try and track the creature that hunted the pigs. We're going to go and find it. I'm going to go and kill it today. And we'll bring it back this evening. And there will be a huge feast in our name. As the killers, the pig saviors. That is the title that I shall have under my name. Hazim, pig savior.
Are you saying this to us or the guards?
No, I'm saying to the guards with a bit of a smile on my face.
Okay.
The guard seems amused and gives a bit of a smirk. He's like, "Too late to be useful to the farmers, though, eh?"
Well, that if they spent more time hunting down the beast and not tending to the creatures that they did not tend to, then perhaps they will not be where they are. Unfortunate, but that is the way of Falcon.
I'm not complaining. I've got a nicer house now, and one of them's freed up, so
Congratulations.
Don't rush too much, eh?
Well,
Dangerous occupation, farming. They knew what they were getting into.
I mean, you say this, but if you do not stop the creature when it comes again, it will be you on a spike then, yes?
Depends if it's on my night on watch or not. Beast has never gotten past me.
Well, I will leave it to you whether you pray that we find it or pray that we don't. But kind of like look conspiratorially, and I lean in and go, I'm pretty sure we're going to. You should always bet your money on Hazim.
What's Hazim?
You have not heard the legend of Hazim?
Vanessa chuckles very loudly when he says, "What's Hazim?"
And I just point at Vanessa with don't. And I hit my microphone in anger.
She is Hazim?
I am Hazim. I am Hazim.
No, I'm not.
No, she could not ever be Hazim.
No one will
What
ever
does
want
it?
to.
He looks very confused. What does it look? What does it mean to be a Hazim?
Loud,
This is-
boisterous, flamboyant.
Powerful.
Oh, I know a few Hazims. He sort of laughs to Vanessa.
You're not feeling my name. What is this?
It's a name. It's not a title.
I just put my hand on his shoulder and go, my friend, I am Hazim. You are fortunate enough to meet me on this day. The day that I become the pig savior.
Okay.
We're losing daylight. If you keep talking to him, we should probably.
It's like 7 a.m. and Vanessa there's enough light for this bullshit.
I talk for that long about myself. It becomes night time.
Okay, yeah, you can head up onto the parapets, leaving
I'm
a very
I'm-
confused guard.
I'm obviously saying it all in jest, but obviously also not in jest. Because I'm pretty good at what I do. I rolled top on my HP. I'm pretty fucking strong, guys. So yeah, I'm gonna wander over to the area that's broke up, and before Whisper runs in with her fucking survival track checking shit, I'm gonna fucking go eyeballs on this bad boy with my survival skill and let her assist me for once if she wishes. Do you wish to assist me?
She's rolled a 26.
And she already rolled a survival check. Was she fucking rolling ahead of
Well,
time?
because she was there, but then everybody else decided to go off in different ways and retcon, and then also started monologuing
Talking
to
about
the
how
world's
great
most
you are.
confused guard, who's just like,
Right, well, hold on. Just let me roll a few skill checks for the rest of this this session for when they appear. I'm going to roll a few perception checks, a few investigations for when they come up. Right, okay, right.
to be fair, she rolled
okay.
that thinking she was at the fence and was about to start investigating a survival check.
Crazy.
I like to think that she was just wandering off while.
Did
this
you
was
not
going.
wait for my cues? I was narrating the entire session for a second. Okay. I walk over.
No,
and-
while you were monologuing, I absolutely wandered around looking at stuff.
So the difficulty you've got is you've already looked around this area since it was last in here. You've already made
Yeah.
your crime scene, your CSI moment for it.
You couldn't think of the word investigates then, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Your
It's-
crime scene CSI.
Yeah, your crime scene observation. So until you're over the fence, you're not really going to get any new information. Unless you're telling me you're looking for something very, very specific, in addition to what you already had done, Whisper, in which case you'd be making an extra roll for me now instead of just throwing a number in there.
No, I will climb over the fence.
I go down first. Okay.
So the three of you are up at the fence. This is your first time up in the Palisades, looking over. You see you have a very, very short, sparse stretch of muddy bank before a fairly slow-moving stream. And on the other side, it is dense forest that you can see within a mile or so, maybe 2, leads to mountains. And shale cliffs starting to climb up. So are you
Good eyes.
all just leaping over?
I will do the whole like lower myself and drop.
30 feet? You broke your legs. You mental case.
I am agile.
Okay,
Also,
but drop speed is still a drop. So are you making a climbing check to try and scale the flat palisades? Because Hazim is right. This is a drop. This is a 30-foot drop.
Unless you're playing Tomb Raider on PlayStation, as long as you hit roll when you land, you can drop from any height. You're fine.
You also have ropes, I would assume.
I'm climbing down. I'm climbing down the pole. I'm fucking expertise at fucking climbing. It's fine.
Do you have a climbing
I've already
speed,
said it, so like, this is what I'm doing.
Okay, roll 2d6 damage after you get your first 10-foot free. I would assume, Vanessa, are you using Magique to just...
Yeah, I'm just spider climbing.
Yeah?
Yeah, just walk down casual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, surely if Whisper hung over and then went, oh wait, I'm as high as a house, maybe I wouldn't drop. Surely. I don't think you have to commit to it with an oversight.
Climb down.
There you go. Yeah.
Using acrobatics, please, Jim.
That's not the climbing skill. But
It's
you know,
not. This session's turned to chaos.
I will leap.
So you will leap. This is right. I'm not being difficult here, but this is just a war. There's nothing to grab onto. This is just.
How much damage am I taking?
Because if it was
conversation,
if it was
just let her fall.
If it was great to climb, people
Give the
wouldn't
damage.
build palisade forts because everyone could climb.
I'm gonna stealth my way down.
Mate, oh my god. 2d6. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as you land heavily and unceremoniously on the uneven mud. You manage to avoid your ankle going. You question all the choices that led you to joining this campaign and the resulting fall.
You know what, though, Whisper, I will condone and I will champion even you healing yourself with a spell, so that later on when Hazim needs one, you just don't give it to him.
I don't need it. I can heal myself more than you guys can heal me. I'm good.
How was Hazim getting down?
I'm trying to say. I think I've got skill proficiency in climbing. I'm sure Tabaxi get like something with climbing.
I feel like they do. Vanessa, I assume you are just sauntering
spider
down.
climbing.
Yeah?
Yeah. Strutting.
Do you want to pop one of those off of him? A Vanessa for a spider climb.
Wait, what? What do I do?
Just tick off that you've done spider climb?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I'm sure I had something to do with climbing. I can't find it at the moment.
But
I have an increased climb speed.
Okay,
Climb
cool.
Okay,
Cool.
So yeah, just climb down.
I'm now back up to full HP. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, yeah, Hazim, you managed to grab on.
I'm gonna go down a pole and just
you've got.
go down slowly. I'm not an idiot.
Okay.
Palisades aren't made not to be climbed by anybody. It's just that you can't climb them quickly or easily.
Okay.
Unless you just drop down like a mental case. Badass. I like that she swan dives off. It's the deck and she's like, ugh.
I mean, healing word's a bonus action, so I don't know if you even noticed that I got hurt.
Yeah, she's already got it prepared before she hits the floor.
She lands on her hand. There we go. So, after more time than I expected, we are all on the muddy bank outside Fort Watten.
Okay. I want to climb back up.
Fuck me. you would notice there is large disturbance in the mud. And Vanessa, as you're walking down, and the other two, as you're looking back up, you will see very, very similar heavy sets of gouge marks up a wall. Something with claws has just dragged itself up and over this wall, what would seem to be multiple times as well from this spot. And heavy tracks do lead to the water's edge.
I mean, it looks like it keeps coming in through the same spot, and yet it is not the first time that it's managed to get through. Nobody's raised an alarm to stop this thing. What kind of defense do we have here?
That's what we're here to find out.
Kind of a rhetorical question. I think the answer is quite poor by the sounds of it, but... Whisper, are you okay? It's quite a drop.
Fine.
You look fantastic. Let's look for tracks. I'll let you take the lead.
Are you wanting me to roll a new roll, Jim?
Yes.
Yeah.
And with advantage, I'm assisting.
Roll. Okay.
So yeah, you identify that whatever this is quadruped. It is large and heavy. And then just looking, and you see it's made multiple visits, gauging from the freshness and the age of the depressions, you identify that there are two.
Ooh!
And the tracks lead back to the river where they are swallowed up by the water. But you do see directly opposite the river what seems to be a similar muddy embankment. And further up there are like reeds and plants that are very much bent aside in a fashion that you'd be very familiar with being like some sort of animal run.
How? You said it's a slow-moving river, but is
Yes.
it one of those where it's deceptively slow-moving on the surface and quick current?
Get in and find out. What would the check? What would the visual? How would you confirm that visually without getting in it?
How clear is the water?
Fairly. It's slow moving. There's not much disturbance or agitation going underneath.
It's
I'd
about
throw
as
a
clear
small
as a
pebble in.
slow-moving river would be.
Pardon?
I'd throw a small pebble in.
Yeah, you see a minimal amount of drift from it as it heads to the bottom and throws up a very small cloud of sediment. It seems to be... There is no... It would seem horrendously strong undercurrent or riptide.
/ DM shenanigans. Luca is so suspicious of this river.
How wide is the river?
About 40 foot.
Yeah.
So Whisper's gonna start walking down towards the bridge.
So how deep was the river? Is it like a river, or is it like shallow?
It looks to be knee height.
Oh, okay. So it's more a stream than a river.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. Is a river because of depth? I imagine it would go deeper before it would go wider with a river.
I don't know. Magic rivers. I'm not getting into rivers of you of all people. I mean, this is a trigger point for me to talk with rivers
Where
of
does
you.
it split?
Oh,
Ian?
it splits.
Where does
It splits at a point where just before it goes uphill. That's where it splits. So yeah,
Close.
40 foot wide, about knee height.
Okay. So it's kind of like I mean, Lord of the Rings when Eowyn gets to the thing when the
That's
ring
kind
goes
of
to chasing him.
what I was thinking. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I just start walking across then.
So what? So was it Whisper or Vanessa is heading back to the bridge?
I was starting to walk back to the bridge as if the idea of crossing this river was just alien to me.
And as you
Well-
do, you just start to hear wading.
It gets really fucking deep over here because it needs a bridge over here. Like this bit here is all right, but then it just gets real fucking deep all of a sudden. We've got a bit of a crossing area. Is that what we're establishing, DM?
Sure.
A bit of a build-up of sediment.
Sure.
You can't
Yeah,
see
no.
it, but I'm smiling under this mask.
Vanessa's boots might not be as nice as they used to be, but she's not wading through the water. She'll walk with Whisper to the bridge.
I will absolutely at some point turn back and see Hazim just walking across the river and look a little shocked for a second and then continue onto the bridge.
And I'm just kind of like stood in the middle of the river, like
holding your glaive, just like
it's like, why are we using a bridge? Why are we using a bridge? It's not even deep.
Do I look like a fish?
I mean, you don't even need to swim. You can literally walk. A fish would drown. It would not be able to breathe in this river. It's that thin.
I'm not a stork either.
And I just kind of like stand there on the
Yeah.
side of the bank for
So
10 minutes practicing
probably
strike
probably
on
a
tree
bit
trunk.
more. Probably a bit more. Yeah.
Mhm.
Judging by how long it took you to walk from the bridge with
Yeah.
Vanessa. So with Arena.
Yeah, Whisper would hear Vanessa just loudly mutter to herself, God, he's going to smell so terrible today.
His knees are. His ankles are going to smell so goddamn bad.
So yeah, Hazim, you make it over and you are on this muddy bank.
Mr. Bean.
Yeah, pretty much. Vanessa and Whisper walk along this awkward, narrow, muddy path beside the fort. They walk in the direct. It's a good 20 minutes. The sun is out. It's a hot day. You cross over that bridge. It's a bit of a lengthy stone bridge with palisades. As every little fortifications are still there. You remember seeing all those zombies dumped off the side into the river below.
They're just all lying there because it's that shallow.
You cross over and you take a right. You walk along. It's a while. But Hazim, you'd be concerned, I imagine, if it wasn't the fact that you do get eyes on them a good 15 minutes where they get to you
all the way down.
picking their way along the path. Eventually, you are reunited.
Have I leveled up?
And you are all.
I just
You're
look
all.
around like, I mean, it wasn't that deep. You've walked through worse than this.
How do you know what I've walked through?
I mean, we've trekked through the forests and things. You don't want to get. You're afraid. You're afraid of water?
No, I just don't want to have wet boots this entire day.
I mean, I would have literally carried you both across. It was not that far. I could have carried you.
Well, you can carry us across on our way back.
I am going to just slightly wrinkle my nose at the smell of wet dog and then start looking around.
Okay.
Play that game.
You definitely see more tracks coming to and from the riverbank again. And you identify the point as they're starting to dry out a bit as they onto more stone and sand as the bank rises up to the part of the plants, and you do manage to find what seems to be a set of some very heavy ponderous prints leading into the forest.
I will point them out to everyone and then start just slowly. I'm gonna stealth my way. I'm gonna crouch down and follow them.
Okay. Is everybody else following stealthily?
She says following them, so I'm not following it. I'm walking. I'm not going to be particularly stealthy. I'm not like bombing through the forest, but I'm just kind of casually walking. Yeah.
What about Vanessa? You'd see that Whisper has identified something and is following it and seems to be making efforts to, get low, get cautious and treading light.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna just do like a kind of a cursory, I don't know if it'd be investigation, but just to see if I pick up on anything that maybe they might have missed.
It'll be survival, I would say, for specifically tracking purposes she's trying to do. Or are you looking for something specific?
Yeah, I guess nothing specific because they were already kind of on the case about actually tracking it. I'll just do it anyway and see what happens.
Okay.
work?
Yeah, you are able to get a bit of a... You see, as Whisper's sort of following the vague sort of track, you realise that she's perhaps following a bit of a slight meander. Maybe the creature was doing some sort of just like cursory foraging or just sniffing as it was going. You're able to identify a bit of a more specific direct track. You sort of identify this creature's sort of ranging to and fro, sort of like the variations, and you sort of get a more of a direct idea of where it was going. You also find a bit of a severed, fairly small piece of flesh that is covered in enough bristle that you identify it to be pig flesh.
That's a fun, actually. Is this like track like there's just blood drops where we're
Yes.
following?
Yeah.
Well, Whisper is looking around. What's Hazim doing again?
I'm walking.
I've got this image of like Whisper and Vanessa sort of sneaking, and then
I'm
Mad being like Clayton in Tarzan, just loudly talking away.
I mean, I'm not being particularly loud or anything. I'm just kind of like, I mean, in my mind, I'm not as concerned about stealthing up on this creature than I would be a person.
Yeah, I'm not super concerned about that either.
Yeah,
I
you're
just
not
wanted to see
you're not
if
sabotaging
you're looking
it.
around.
You just have a different approach to this.
I'll stand behind Whisper and just point out the direction that I found. I think, while that's valuable, I think the creature went more directly this way.
Yeah, and I will adjust my course to that direction.
Okay.
As like Whisper's being like, oh, and I don't want to speak for Whisper. I imagine that when we're following or going anywhere, she always has a natural caution about her anyway. So she always looks like she's semi-creeping and not sure. You know, it's not
correct.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go. I think we will be okay for a while. I don't imagine that it makes its den too close to the fort, because I'd like to give the benefit of the doubt that they would have found it if it was this close. I think we have some time yet.
I just didn't want to scare anything off if it was, in fact, a wild creature.
If this is an owl bear, it will be scared directly towards us to kill us. It will not run away. Was I the only one that knew what an owl bear was, or I the only one that identified?
I think I'd heard of them, but I don't think I've ever come across one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like it was I identified it, and then it was a decision whether you knew what one was. I imagine Vanessa's educated enough that she's probably an owlbear's like familiar enough that most people would have heard of them, right?
Yeah, it's like it's I've probably never encountered one myself, but
So I'll say to Whisper, I say, these creatures, they are territorial. We now know there's two of them, which I believe isn't particularly common, but it is unlikely that they will be scared away from us. I think they will know that we are within their territory.
If they have young, we should be prepared for particularly aggressive behavior.
I can't remember what I rolled. I mean, I think owlbear are pretty aggressive anyway, right? I think they are like, if you go in their territory, they're coming for you to fucking kill you. Owlbear.
I don't believe you recall that in character. You knew a little bit about like their general physiology.
I think you're right. But if they have young nearby and calls them out to come and attack us and defend us, then it is easier for us to find them because we want to kill them. So,
with your combined survival checks, you are able to track these through a very similar sort of forest to the Southwood in sort of like its general, vibe and its level of illumination, density of trees, but sort of like sparse like dead pine, well, like fall pine covered undergrowth underneath. Very, very like alive pine trees. After an hour or two, you get to, so it looks a bit more like this, minus the stream, just a gradual incline up. It continues to have tracks that you are able to follow. You do hear once or twice up ahead in the trees a sort of like echo down from the hills. Distant, echoey. But yeah, you have a clear path that you can continue. If you are just continuing following these tracks, you reach a point where you've been going for a while, you begin to sort of lose a little bit. I would like one more survival roll from someone to get us all the way to the source of these tracks.
I mean, Luca with advantage.
Ooh,
Yeah, you
surprisingly low.
lose one of a set of tracks. They sort of wander off to the side and you're unable to find where they lead to. They don't just abruptly end, they just enter a patch of undergrowth, and even when you kind of fan around it a little bit, you're not able to reliably find where it emerges. But one of the sets of tracks you do continue to follow up the hill until eventually you do find a bit of a overgrown large cave entrance. There is a horrendous smell of carrion. It is a wide, low cave entrance, a bit of a slight stoop for Hazim to get into. The others can probably get him just a bit of a ducking of the head, but yeah, you smell this place a minute or two before you see it. What do we wish to do?
I was gonna say I could maybe scout ahead, but my stealth isn't great.
If you would like, I can attempt to go in further. Although I would bet our quarry lies in there.
It's not that. That's not necessarily the concern I have. I'm sure it is there. Just if we think that maybe there's two there, there may be more cubs even. We just need to.
If we want to get eyes on it first, I am adept at being sneaky. If you'd like me to go in and then come back and relay what information I find, then
If you would like.
I'm fine with that.
okay. I step forward and kind of like bravado, kind of no problem. But like facing away from the group, there's a bit of a fuck. And I will take a breath and bien so long. And my shift weave turns into my basically my ninja outfit, all black shift weave. Gives me no bonuses or anything, but
makes them feel better.
It's the aesthetic, you know.
Yeah, the aesthetic. I feel sneaky. And yeah, so I will go low and quiet. I don't know whether they have high sense of smell or anything like that, do I?
No, you don't.
You can remember my role. I'll slowly head into the cave.
And you two are waiting outside, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. You're going to be on this map, but obviously you're not here.
Can't imagine what this owlbear map's going to be.
Quiet, you.
I've never even seen it loaded, but if you use the one map that we've called an owlbear nest, then I will be blown away. Oh, okay. I can see me in the darks. I have no vision though.
Yeah, it's dark in this cave. You have a few moments where there's like a bit of light spilling in, but then yeah, you reach the dark.
Does it seem like regular darkness, or does it seem?
This is like my dark vision sees through this.
Do you have dark vision?
We all have dark vision.
Yeah, good.
Established early on.
Yeah, it extends as far as it extends.
Do you want me to prompt you how far it extends, DM?
You see wall in front of you. I have made some modifications because there's not a minecart track in here.
No, yeah, I presumed. I still can't see anything though.
Yeah, so because mine is like 120 feet. So like there's like a wall cutting us off at the end of this path.
Yeah, like when I click on you, Hazim, I can see through your eyes.
Oh god,
And you have
is
some
it that
vision.
fucking dark? 1 second. Is the map that dark that I can't see it?
I mean, the others can see, so it must be a problem with your token. Ah, yeah, you keep reverting down to having. There we go. Now you should
Okay,
see. Now you
there
can
we
see.
go. Okay, 1 second.
I thought you were complaining, but you couldn't see as far as you were expecting to see because some
No,
extra
no,
walls
no,
have been
no.
thrown in.
That's
No,
what
it's
I'm
very
complaining about. I
And
just
that was
don't
very
know
much
why.
a technical.
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, Azim, are you stealthing now? Now
Oh,
you're
yeah,
in here?
yeah.
Let's have a let's have a
100%.
stealth check from you.
Do you want me to blind it?
Sure.
I think it's blind GM roll, so I'm going to select that one. Does that come through?
It has.
Okay, cool. And I don't know what it is, so I am just creeping. So
Yeah. You take a few steps and you hear a definite shift inside. A slight dislodging of stone. And a bit of a...
okay.
And a few sort of...
That sounds like fucking Heroes of the Storm. It sounds like Rexar's bear.
No. And you hear like a shift of stone again. And a scraping of claws on dirt.
Which direction is it coming from for me?
So it's come from
Oh,
this
shit.
direction.
Okay,
Over it.
okay.
And you hear scrapes again. And hear that it is more up than there.
Okay. I'm backing up a little bit. So right, okay, so from where this is, my dark vision is supposed to be 60 feet. That is not set to 60 feet if that's where I can see 40 feet. If that's just suddenly appeared there.
No, well, it has come from above. It was north here. It is moving piece by piece round. I would give you that you see this large creature that is clearly an owlbear. With your dark vision, you can see, Hazim, that this is fucked up. It is heavily, heavily wounded. There are huge bloody patches running down its forearms that have deep, deep gouges across it. The beak looks like it's actually fractured and damaged, and its head is sort of lolling a bit, but from the alertness in it and how it's trying to drag itself around, it definitely smells you.
Alright. Cool. Then,
I will drop in our chat now that its perception was a 19. Your stealth was a nat 1.
Nice. That's fine. Okay, so but I've clocked on that it knows I'm here, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Then do you want me to roll into initiative or anything?
Yes. Are you wanting to call out or anything to the others?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I'll add you into combat. Combat rating challenging.
You say that. It's half fucked, so I'm good. Who knows?
Okay. It goes for... Oh, what's your dexterity? You matched.
I think it automatically pairs it up. I mean, my dexterity is 14.
No, you should go first, then.
Okay, cool.
Don't know why it hasn't done the initiative tie.
Interesting.
Yeah, but you are up, Hazim.
Do you want to change me around now then while I do my move just for future combat? But I'm going to go 1.
Yeah,
Presumably
I'm gonna update yours just to be 18, just for the sake of...
Cool, okay. So presumably these are stairs, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then as I'm backing up, my glaive already out, I look at the others and I go, okay, we found one of them. Looks pretty messed up. And then I just kind of like ready myself.
When you say readying yourself, what is that?
Oh no, yeah, no, I'm yeah, nothing mechanical.
Okay, are the other two coming in?
Yeah, when you say you look at us, can we see you? Like,
You
are you
got
that?
Vision. You got that.
Well, they were
Okay,
just
okay.
they were just outside the cave member, so you know that
Yeah.
they're only like 15 feet away. You could call,
Yeah.
you would have heard him call out the cave.
Yeah. Okay,
His
okay.
voice comes echoing out.
Just confirming. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not being like really loud because I don't want to alert the other one necessarily. But yeah.
Okay, it's going to move, and then we'll start a new round of the other two.
Right,
coming
yeah.
in.
Okay.
It roars. You both outside hear
Right.
the roar as well. It is going to barrel towards you. It will hit the point where you can attack it, Hazim.
That's not where I'm at. I can't attack it there. That's 15
It's 10
feet away.
It's okay. I'll move it a bit more than it looks like it. It's attempting to come to you.
Sure. Okay. Now I will attack it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'll go attack opportunity on it.
Crit.
It critted.
It did. Apply that crit damage.
That has not shown that for me.
Nat 20 for a 24, because you're still set to blind roll.
Ah, okay, cool.
But it was a crit for a 24. Can you click damage from yours? When
Yeah,
it's blind?
I
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
you bastard.
It carves right across it. It does not go down, but the waving of this, it is clearly held at bay. It rears up and gives another roar. But I think despite its size, it's still 5 feet on both things it can do. So yeah, it gets no closer.
Okay. I'm gonna. Sorry. With that, I'm gonna make it into a pushing attack.
Can you have attack opportunity? It's just you
it's any
hold an
attack.
attack, don't you?
It's any attack. Anytime I make an attack, I can use one of my combat superiority.
Does it say make an attack, or does it say make an attack as part of your action?
It says anytime
Whatever
you
that-
make an attack, you can use a superiority dice.
Okay.
It's literally on any time I
Yeah.
do
Okay.
it. Only because I'm presuming this might have reach and might be able to reach me on its fucking go anyway. So I'm going to push it away.
Does it need to make a save, or does it just happen?
1 second. So when you hit a creature with a weapon type, you can expend this one superiority dice to attempt to drive the type. You add the superiority dice to the attack's damage roll, and the target is large or smaller, must make a strength saving throw. So the damage didn't come up for me.
The damage you did was 19.
Okay, 1 second. So plus 1d8. There
So
you
what? DC 25.
DC 25 strength check it needs to make. Otherwise, it gets moved back 15 feet.
22. Gets knocked back how much? 15.
15 feet.
We will have to look into at some point the logistics of you having an attack that moves people as a result of your attack, whereby their speed becomes 0 if they are hit. It's that you are simultaneously frozen and knocked back. But yeah, it is knocked down the steps. Okay, that was Hazim's reaction. It has moved. Vanessa, it is you. You hear Hazim's cry and you are able to enter the cave.
So how tall are the ceilings in this cave?
About 20 foot.
All right, so I'm gonna use.
Oh no, sorry,
my-
it was low to get. Yeah. We'll take 15 foot.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just climb up the 15 feet,
Okay.
and then use my remaining 20 feet to get in. So from where I'm at, get here. Oh, hi. And seeing this big old thing, I'll try something new. Does it look like it's injured or undead?
Yeah, it looks supremely. It's definitely not undead. It is just
Okay.
heavily injured.
I'm going to extend my hand as I'm bracing myself to the ceiling, and some of its own shadow is going to kind of coalesce around it, and I'm going to cast Frostbite on it. So it needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Click damage and it should. If you added the spell in from the compendium, click damage and it should force for save. Injured owl. It has not prompted me. How very strange. Did you set the spell up yourself?
No, I imported it.
Okay. So what spell do you need? A Constitution saving throw. I will make a Constitution saving throw. Constitution saving throw as a result of 12.
It says that it succeeded on 16.
Oh yeah. It didn't prompt me for some reason. Okay, yeah. So it did save. So does it take any damage?
Nope.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it kind of just shrugs itself loose of these shadows. Anything else on Vanessa?
That'll be it.
Okay, Whisper, you're up. Azim, you're next.
Before Whisper jumps in, sorry, I kind of heard what you were saying as I was stepping away. So my Sentinel Strike reduces its movement to 0, so it loses its movement, but force movement from my
Cool.
push
Okay,
doesn't
cool.
use its movement. Yeah.
Brill. Okay, Whisper, you're up. Azim, you're next.
Okay, I am going to cast Aid on all of us. Did that? It should give you temporary HP.
If you've selected all of us, and then you've clicked healing,
Yeah,
it should
there
put
we
it
go,
on.
there we go.
Yeah, it's added
we go.
+5
Sweet.
to you all.
And then bonus action, I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon. Oh. You want to drag the thing out for me?
I do, but 1 second. It looks like it is not given hit point maximums to people. I'll look into that, but for the meantime,
Right,
all of you give yourself 5 temporary HP. And then I will drag out Rabscuttle's deck.
Okay. And then,
Obviously, you can place it where you wanted it to come out.
right. I was going to place it up this way because I
Okay.
am going to move. And my vision's very limited, so like I feel like I'm kind of moving blindly here for a second.
Yeah, you are in character, so that's accurate.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna move up a little closer next to Hazim.
Okay.
And that is my turn.
Okay, Hazim, it's you. Owlbear, you're next.
Just to confirm, I can't remember because it's been a while. So the aid spell, it increases by 5 but heals us by 5 at the same time.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, 5 current and 5/10.
Oh, okay. Then I am going to. I'm gonna move in. I'm gonna attack it with glaive.
Misses your first one.
Misses the owlbear, and
And you see it kind of hunker down a little bit at its poor turn. And you just get a sense that this thing is going to be able to strike back very swiftly if it so chooses.
I mean, what?
You get a sense that this thing may be much quicker than you expect if it decides to be.
Oh, okay. So it's probably got the reach for if I step back, essentially. Does it look like it's got the reach? Like if am I going to step back, it's going to get attack opportunity?
It's a
Not
large.
reach.
It's a large.
Yeah,
It looks like it's not the sluggish predator that it might look like.
Well, it's, yeah, I mean, it's more about its kind of appendages and stuff anyway. So okay. Sorry, my mask is basically falling over my eyes at the moment, so I'm trying to fucking look at stuff. Then I am going to. Yeah, I'll hold it there. That's fine. That's my goal.
Is it? Oh, do you know what? I forgot you hadn't hit level 5. I was like, you've forgotten you have your extra attack. That's next.
No,
level.
I don't. I still have
no.
attack.
Your pommel, haven't you? But you haven't got. Have you got extra attack? That's level 5.
I've got no. Oh yeah, sorry. I've got action surge, but yeah. I've not
Oh
extra.
yeah. Okay, cool. Right, owlbear. It pulls itself up back to its narrative feet. Yeah, it is going to attack Hazim. Just roars and lunges forward. First, with its claws. Ooh, 25, anything you can do about that?
Not me, sir.
And then it follows up by diving forward with the beak. Another 18 for another 25.
Okay, this thing ain't fucking about, is it?
And you just see it barrel in and just claw and beat down on Hazim. You see him just it bursts back up a couple of steps towards him, and then it is just a screaming dervish of claws and beak. That is its turn then. Vanessa, it's you. Did you say so? What was your cry then? Shit tonight.
Shit tonight. I said they were deadly, then forgot they were deadly.
Vanessa, it's you. Whisper, you're next.
Yeah. So I don't know if this would like require some kind of action or something, but this thing is clearly injured.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to get a sense of what injured it?
You could make me a perception check at this point. I'd say medicine check would be too focused and taking the time to inspect on it. This is flailing around and leaping in the dark, and he's attacking. You can try and get a good sense of it through perception.
Would this be a free action, or would I have to use my action to do that?
I'd say we're taking a few seconds through combat to stop and focus and try and take in the details, so it would be at the expense of your action in this situation.
Okay, so I won't do that then.
Yeah,
Unless
fuck it,
everyone
I'll
else
kill.
thinks I should. I feel bad for this owlbear.
Don't.
Feel bad for Hazim. He talked such a big game.
Yeah, right. So I'm going to go ahead and, since that first attempt didn't work, I'm going to try and casting Mind Sliver on it.
Yeah, just target it and click damage, and it should force the save.
So it'll be 5 psychic damage if it does not make it.
I'm going to pause a second, because last time I wondered what was going on. There we go, it has done it. It
Damn.
fails with a 1.
Miserably. And so it does something on its next turn.
Is it
It subtracts
disadvantage
1d4 from the next saving throw it makes before the end of my next turn.
before your next turn? Okay, yeah. Is it saving for it makes against you, anything from you, or just anything?
Anything.
Okay, yeah. You tell me what that spell looks like.
Yeah, so it just kind of sitting up there. It looks like the owlbear shadow just kind of reaches up and digs its claws into the head of this creature.
Okay.
And then disappears.
Okay. It does not look in a good way at all. You see its legs almost buckle for a moment. One of its eyes just seems to blacken over with the spell and just doesn't return to normal. It looks to be in a very bad way. Anything else in Vanessa?
No, that's it.
Vanessa, it's you. Sorry, Whisper, it's you. You still can't see the creature. Well, you
Muted.
Can. Well, you can now.
I just moved up.
Yeah.
So that I can see. And I will move and attack with my spiritual weapon.
You just
Hold
had
on.
that. You just had that sense of
horror that sinks over you from witnessing. On an instinctual level, you see this. You know this is an apex predator, but in a bad way. It's been brought very low. Your spiritual weapon hits. Rabskuttle's Dirk flies out at it. Tell me how Rabskuttle's Dirk kills it.
I think I would just go straight for the neck with this little. I mean, it's just a little dirk, so it's not some big slash. It would just go straight for the neck.
You just see Hazim as you've attacked this thing and it's just burst at you, and you're trying to back up or whatever, but it is just barreling down. It rises up, the corridor, as it like these steps down, the ceiling slopes down with it, and it just fills the space above you entirely, and it rakes and beaks as you're trying to fight it off. You just see the little glowing dagger coming to the side, just in its neck, and it falls forward towards you, sort of still mid-swipe, and just heavily slumps to the ground.
Yeah, as that spiritual blade comes in and I see it kind of take it out, I just jab at it like pretending I'm having the kill.
Okay. It hits the floor with a heavy thud.
Can I use?
Yes,
we're out of combat.
We're about to be, but if you want to do something, you can.
I was just gonna throw a heal.
Yeah, you can.
Hazim.
Yeah, you can do that even out of combat if you want to.
I wasn't sure if we were remaining in combat for a second. Because we don't know where the second one is.
Are
you alright?
I'm fine. Oh, it managed to dash a little bit quicker than I thought. It looked more injured, but must have had a bit of life left in it. Oh, but I'm okay. I'm Hazim. We all know this.
Vanessa drops down from the ceiling. Yes, we do all know it. And she'll start to walk towards the cavern, down the steps.
I kind of look at. I'm like, kind of like. I've clearly like had some big bruises, and you know, it didn't not hurt when it took off 30 of my fucking hit points in one go. Like, you're lucky that it was Hazim that was at the front. We look at Whisper. But thank you. You made me feel a little bit better. Let us be careful.
Additional healing?
Do
you need additional healing?
Before we face this next one, this one looked severely injured, and we do not know that is the case of the next one.
Vanessa, are you looking over it now that it's dead?
I am, yeah.
Make me a medicine check, Vanessa.
Actually, I don't know if I can, but I would like to do an investigation check on it to see if I can discern the nature of its injuries and see if there's anything else going on with it.
Sure. How do you don't know if you can?
I mean, I can if you say I can.
No, so I don't. What you meant by I don't know if I can do a medicine check.
No. I wanted to instead of medicine, I wanted to use investigation.
Okay, you want to get more? You want to get the specifics you'd get if you were looking at the medical sense of it. I mean, the Hazim got even at a cursory, checklist glance. You know, some very obvious wounds in it, and you were there. You watched some magic come in. You saw Hazim's glaive come in. You know that there's a puncture mark in the neck, which is a result of Whisper. Other than that, there are a couple of wounds that are unaccounted for. Large tears down the flank, the front legs. The beak was very clearly cracked, top and bottom, almost sunk in and depressed. Make me that investigation roll if you want to see if we glean any further detail.
And when I do, I'm going to take out my magnifying glass. So that's going to be a big ol' 7.
Isn't the magnifying glass specifically for magical It'd be the bonus from it. Isn't that more for?
It's for investigation or arcana checks.
Oh, okay. I thought it was investigation for like magical things. Okay. For a total of what?
Oh, I guess
say?
yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's check you make regarding. Okay, so yeah, never mind. You're right.
I like to think that she still brings the magnifying glass out anyway.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's a very David Caruso sort of.
Jessica Fletcher. Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Murder She Wrote.
I don't think you get any additional information beyond the clearly visible injuries to it.
That makes sense.
But clearly, this beast, even before your group killed it, but after Hazim killed it, or so he would have you believe, has been fucked up by something.
Okay, I'll turn away from it since it just looks like I'm not super concerned with injuries as much as I am what else might be in here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn away from the group and turn on my detect magic and just look around the room to see if anything pings.
There must be quite a predator that has injured this one. Do we think that the other that it is with is bigger and more brutal?
Damn, I can't tell if it's just because it's real dark. Does this go anywhere?
Does what go anywhere?
Where I'm standing? Is this like a...
So this is...
Once upon a time it did.
Once upon a time it did. Yeah, you're not seeing cave walk. Basically, this map raw has like mine tracks that come in, and it makes no sense in the context of Falcovnia. So yeah, there are... If your vision isn't extending, it's because there's magical DM walls.
Okay.
So left and down was the only way for you to go.
You must have left just a bit of a gap here because we can see like a little shadow beyond it, or you changed it afterwards. I don't know. Like normally, if you put a wall across like this area, it'd just be black, but we can kind of see that it goes kind of like faintly into something as well.
Okay.
I see some beautiful glowing water beyond this.
Yeah, there's a couple of cracks in the walls. Yeah, you do see a small break in the ceiling, letting in a bit of light, and it is dancing on where rainwater has pooled over time.
I look at Whisper and say, "If you have anything left in you, then I know how hard that last one hit. I wouldn't mind. Feeling a little bit stronger." Feel the glow. Is it a touch spell?
Uh-huh.
And as Whisper places her hands upon there, and the warmth spreads. It's a moment.
There's a moment in Hazim's mind only.
In Hazim's mind. I don't think you healed me, but you made me feel better by your touch.
DM, do I pick up anything pinging from my detect magic?
You do not, other than the usual.
Okay. Then I will drop
Is there any sign, DM, of the second one?
Not currently.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my second wind.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a perception check if I can, just to see if I.
What a load of shit!
Dang.
Why did I bother?
Damn.
Oof.
Damn.
I cough and then go. Do I feel better?
You choke somewhat on the cough.
Yeah.
What Vanessa also not perceiving much.
Nope. I'm
You
transfixed by
cannot
this
get
water.
the smell of carrion is much stronger. You are stepping over occasionally.
I did
What looks to
get
be
a
left
26.
Yeah, no. You're all just like throwing rolls before you tell me what you're doing. Except you, Hazim, you're brilliant.
I said I was looking around.
You already rolled. You do find was it stealth medicine? Okay, not one on the medicine check. You are finding various stages of decay. A couple of things that are recognizable as wolves. There's a rabbit, unusually. You would see that these do not all seem to have been entirely consumed. taking a few steps more, Hazim, you see a bundle on the floor ahead of fur and feather. And you see what is clearly a deceased, mauled baby owlbear.
Why can't bring the babies into it, though?
Maybe a couple of months old in size.
DM, the claws and marks and stuff that we found at the wall, did it look like there were two of the same creature?
Yes.
Okay.
Is Vanessa just around the corner, peeking through the gap still, or is she going to follow around?
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Are there big enough gaps to step through, or?
No, you'd separate. Well, you could squeeze through, I imagine.
Let's squeeze through.
Okay.
How deep's the water here, DM? Is it
Like less than a foot. It's basically a collection of rainwater that is just pooled coming from the ceiling over time.
I look at Vanessa and whisper and say, "No bridge."
The walls,
Are
the
you
walls are
wanting
my
us to
bridges.
swim?
That was slow, Jack.
I wanted to come up with something snappy, but it was too funny. Vanessa will roll her eyes and just keep walking down the
He
coast.
just walks on the roof and go, "Who needs a fucking bridge when I'm in a cave?"
You come to cave wall. The smell of carrion gets much worse. Don't you made the fucking map.
I didn't.
I didn't, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, you start to see again all around this place dead swine, dead forest animals, a couple of dead adult owlbears seem to have been mauled.
I'm just
else.
gonna hunker down. I want to listen to see if I can hear anything.
Okay.
Do we see any sign of kebab?
You do not.
No.
You hear nothing, Kazim, beyond the drip of water coming in through the cave roof.
DM, can
Yes, Whisper.
I investigate this baby owlbear?
Yes.
Check it.
Maybe a medicine check. It looks to have been crushed and by some great weight, some great force. There is also a large cut near enough from shoulder to its ankle on its side where perhaps like a claw or a beak has raked it. This has received a heavy blow.
Heavier than perhaps an adult owlbear?
I don't know, they're pretty strong. It's a great force has hit it. I think if anything bigger or stronger than that hit it, it probably wouldn't still look like a baby owlbear.
Okay.
Something of an equivalent, at least.
Yeah. But yeah, Hazim, you just see into this room that is full of dead creatures. Vanessa, you now see it too. Whisper, did you have more questions back there?
Yeah, am I fairly confident that this was an owlbear that killed it?
I don't feel like you know enough about them to... It's been beaten and battered. It's just been... I don't know what really getting into the use of magic. I'm not sure how you're intending to get any more information out of it other than that.
Okay. And does it seem to just be laying wherever it was killed, or has it been put here?
Yeah, it's definitely just like landed in a crumple. It has not been like laid reverently or with any deliberation. It's been smacked and that's where it's landed or how it fell.
What marks surround here?
How do you mean?
If whatever killed it was right here, can I look at the ground surrounding?
It's the same composition of the rest of the place. There's loose stone, bones.
Okay. So not really, no.
No.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I mean, I look back at Whisper. I'm not gonna start diving in on my own. Like, does she look like she's ready for moving forward? I'm kind of watching her investigating. I'm like, okay, she's having Whisper time.
I will conclude my investigation of this corpse. I will just look up at you. Are you in the water?
I mean, I'm on this little bit of an islet here in between it. But I mean,
Yeah,
it's
but
like
you walked through the
That's
water.
It's like
you're still
ankle
you're still in
deep.
the you're still in the water.
Wait,
That
what?
is one of your own canopy elements over you, the mad cartographer.
What? That's a canopy?
Yeah.
It's an ill-placed one. I blame Stefan on the design on that.
Sack him.
Never have a canopy on a grid line. Always
Okay,
have it over
so
a
you're
square.
waiting for Whisper.
Okay,
How
yeah.
deep is the water on you?
Ankle deep.
Ankle deep.
All right.
Have you got hesitation about stepping into the water?
Yes.
Okay, then I will kind of step back over and I will I'll
Drag
hold
her.
my hand. I'll hold my hand out to Whisper. That I can see this trepidation. I'm like, it is okay.
Going to look miserable stepping into this water and very much look like I want to pull my feet out, like kind of in that way that cats do with the.
It's horribly cold water, Whisper.
My whole being just kind of like, oh,
Whisper,
and I'm gonna step in it.
Whisper. There are far worse things in this cave than wet feet. Get a grip.
I'll
And I
just kind
turn
of
around.
look miserably at him and continue on.
I will tolerate so much, but wet feet, I will not. And then I finally see where Vanessa was because I didn't know where she was. Like for the entire fucking like, oh, you're fucking there, fucking avid wanderer. And I look
Make
around,
make a perception check. And are you all still trying to sneak? If so, make me stealth checks.
yeah, I think we would all be sneaking now. I mean, I am.
I don't know how sneaky I would be.
You'd be really sneaky.
Stumbling
Don't ruin
through
it for the
this
group.
water.
God damn it.
All right, I'll.
Vanessa, you are wall walking currently, are you, or are you just on the?
No, I'm on foot right now. I'm on the ground
Okay,
right
yeah.
now, and this is where our terrible dice luck happens.
Yeah.
On my dice, it was an anvil, which was a natural 20, so apparently not.
Vanessa and Hazim both managed to separately dislodge stones.
No, that was my my perception.
Oh, sorry, it was. So
Yeah.
it was. Let's have your perception as well. Sorry, your stealth as well, rather. Much
a little better. 12.
Yeah, Hazim manages to dislodge a single stone as he's wading. He splashes a bit of water up as he wades through his ankle-deep water, and it just dislodges a stone that managed to make a bit of a inexplicably. Do you like how the twig snapping always seems so stupid and out of place and impossible to do? He manages to give us a little stone that gives a. It sounds like Poseidon's kiss in this ankle-deep water.
So when it happens in a film and people go, "That's ridiculous! It wouldn't happen," you just made it happen in your
Yeah,
campaign.
that's so
Okay,
that's
got
so
it.
untimely. That's so untimely.
Yeah.
One twig. This
Yeah,
is but one kaplunch.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
My description is only the vehicle for your shit dice roll to have an effect.
It's true.
Vanessa,
Vanessa whips her head around when she hears the stone plop into the water. She just glares at Hazim.
I just look at her and go like, not deliberate.
She'll go back to looking around. Are these nests filled with, you said, adult corpses?
Well, yeah, not always just in the nest, but littered around the room. Clearly,
Okay.
some sort of thing has happened in here, and then you do all hear a shifting of wood and twig and stone.
From where?
From over here.
What the fuck?
Slowly,
I can see here.
There's things in the way. Let me finish saying one thing. Stick to Rose, dragging itself down between the pillars.
I know, Red's making it feisty.
I know. You see a horrid sight. An owlbear clearly no longer. Emaciated flesh, wounds hanging off it, sockets, no youngling and no man in an Adidas tracksuit. Because there's clearly some like D&D monsters get modern, but a large, clearly undead owlbear drags itself down, squeezing between these two pillars, and turns its empty sockets in your direction. I would like everyone to please roll initiative.
Can I just say, just click my token to see what my visibility is?
Yeah, I know. I saw your visibility, but there's also line breakers for here. And it was up... Oh, it just jumped. It was up here. And it also beat your stealth very, very highly until you made noise and it started to come towards you. You always want to fight.
I don't always want to fight, but it's... Both owlbears have appeared like...
To be fair, one owlbear was right around the corner from you. It was around, it was 10 feet away from you on the other side around the corner, and you rolled a 1 on the stealth, which has advantage on perception.
Which is fine, but it went past an area which gave me visibility on the area. So where you drop it into a spot, it was already a revealed area.
Let's talk about it afterwards.
I mean, it's fine. It is what it is.
So, first up, well,
Mom, Dad,
Albert
please stop
and
fighting.
Hazim still needs to roll his. He's probably going first, I imagine.
I'm quite loud.
Oh, is the orange dice? I keep thinking why I keep thinking it's Hazim's dice. It's my dice. I'm like, wow, great rolls. No, it's me. First up, let's close that on there. First up is Vanessa.
Okay. Oofa. Seeing this big creature thing, smelling like ass. Or that could just be Hazim, I don't know. Does it look pretty like hardy? Does it look wobbly?
Although it is clearly dead, it does not seem to be covered in any of the large, obvious wounds that the other one was.
Okay. Well, let's cover it some large, obvious wounds. I'm gonna go ahead and just instinctively, seeing this thing pop up, extend my shadow and cast a little caustic brew.
Okay, place away.
And I'll be stepping closer to it. Just.
So I will learn this eventually. Is there immediate damage, or is it only when it gets round to its turn?
So it has to succeed on the dexterity.
So if you click damage, it should force the save. There we go. It's prompted it on this one. The other things that I haven't prompted for some reason. It failed on a 12.
Okay, so yeah, it does take 7.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't even matter if it goes back in that stream now, does it? It's just now covered in acid.
It's just clinging to it now.
Yeah. It took me a couple of combats to realise.
And then, so that was 15 feet. I'm going to use my. This is a pillar in front of me, right?
It is.
I'm going to use the remainder of my movement, the 20 feet of movement, to get up 20 feet
Okay.
on this pillar.
Okay, anything else from you?
No, that's my turn.
Albert's turn. So remind me, does it immediately take more damage?
At the start of each of its turn, yeah. So,
Yeah.
let's go.
Is it 1d6, if I remember rightly?
2d4.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. 2d4. Roll 2d4. Oh, good, you're doing it. Okay, you have rolled a 4. I will knock I rolled a 4 as well. I'll knock an additional 4 health off it. Remind me, what is the prompt for it to stop taking that damage?
It has to use an action to like scrape it off them.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, it does not. It is going to come forward and let's see what happens with Hazim.
Not in range yet. There you go. Okay. Yeah, I'm attack of opportunity. I'm gonna.
Noise. 16 hits.
And I will do that as a pushing attack and push it back 15 feet. What?
I was just thinking through what you said before, and I was thinking for a second, what stops it from just running back in? Now you don't have a reaction.
It's got
Well,
zero movement.
its speed is 0. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you knock it back 15 feet. Oh, sorry, it makes a save, doesn't it? First of all.
Yeah. So it needs to be all that. Oh.
Okay, well, it's rolled a dirty 20.
So what was my damage?
Damage was 9.
9. Oh, I can't roll an 11. Okay, so it doesn't get pushed back.
Okay. So it gets
Well, let me double check. I think it might just be a flat D8. I don't think it adds anything. So let me double check that. Combat Spherity. Yeah, no, it's just a D8. Yeah, so even with an 8, it wouldn't move it back.
Okay. So you hit it and it's stuck there. So you are now 10 feet away from it, correct?
Yes.
It reaches out with its claws.
Sure.
And it is going to rake its claws down at you, Hazim.
Oh, okay. Change it to punch. Come for it.
Misses. Now I think it can. No, it's one with its. It specifies one with its beak, one with its claws, and its beak does not have 10-foot range. So that is all it's going to do. Whisper, you're up. Hazim, you're next. And we will be hard ending in 15 minutes, just in case combat's still going, just so everybody knows.
Sure.
I am going to reach out, and just a soft light glow is going to surround Hazim. And then
Did you cast
settle
on yourself?
into
Because
your
you're
fur?
shining. You're shining now. Did you cast on
I
yourself?
had you selected.
I think the effect's on you casting it. I checked the AC.
Okay.
The AC has not gone on to Whisper. I did just check.
Okay, yeah, okay, because I had you selected.
Yeah.
And then I am going to run and clamber up onto this, like.
It will make a swipe at you as you leave its range. Oh my god. Okay. So
Okay.
the claws go heavily across your back, and whew, you feel the little magical protection of your aid just be snuffed out, and then several of your vertebrae also. And you drop your shield of faith. Your shield of faith immediately sputters off from Hazim as you just run, and your run turns into a stagger for a few steps.
Okay, well, that went terribly.
Do you know what you should have done? You should have took Warcaster.
The thing that the DM talked me out of taking this morning?
Did you tell her to take Warcast and she...
No, he told
I
me
did.
not to.
I did tell her she should have, when she said that she had none of it. She talked about Warcaster. Well, I'll tell you me after chat.
Okay.
So yeah, so
Okay.
Whisper. So that's your action, or that's your bonus, isn't it? Your movement. Do you have an action you're going to do?
That's everything, right?
Oh, isn't
That's
Shield of Faith a
everything.
bonus, I thought?
Yeah. No.
Shield of Faith is bonus, so
Okay.
yeah, if that happens, I am going to just stagger my way up onto the thing and turn back, and I will Sacred Flame it.
Okay. It fails.
Two
God.
damage!
Okay, anything else from
Got it.
Whisper?
That's it for me.
Hazim, you're up. Vanessa, you're next.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to attack this creature in front of me. I'm gonna go good blade. Worth it.
Misses. It just hits a part of exposed bone, and you can see that it's just nothing to it.
And then I'm gonna urge Vanessa to back up slightly, and I'm gonna back up as well.
I'm up on the pillar, so yeah.
Oh, okay. So are you out of range from it?
Yeah, I'm 20 feet away from it.
Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna back up I'm gonna back up 1 square.
Okay, yeah, obviously it can't swing at you.
Uh-huh.
And that's all you're doing?
Yeah, that's all I'm doing.
Okay, top of that. Oh, so yeah, Vanessa, you're up.
Bam. So I'm gonna go ahead and let me double check something right quick. Yes, it's concentration. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and, from where I'm at, just throw down some magic missiles. And I will do that right now. In just a moment.
Please hold.
Ba, ba, da, 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 ba, ba, da, da.
Ooh. All right, I'll take it.
Oh.
So how many more of those does it get?
So it's just first level, so it's going to be 3 darts.
Okay, so I will take another 10 off it.
And then I don't think I have a bonus action that I can do. So I'm going to stay put for now. Yes.
Okay. Albert's turn. First of all, do you roll 2d4? Or whatever it takes for its prolonged acid damage?
With pleasure. 7.
Okay. Albert's turn. It sees Hazim's glaive point, I presume, leveled at it. So to give him a shot coming closer. It feels its acid burning away at itself. Its head sort of tilts and lolls for a moment, just sort of looking, listening.
What the fuck?
And it comes bursting through. You see out the other side, Hazim, it trying to finish off the thing you're already wounded. It just disappears behind this pillar and then erupts across a bit further in the cave. You see it leaping towards Whisper. It is going to attack Whisper. Why can't I untarget Hazim? There we go. First it comes in with its claws. Anything you can do about a 17? I can't know if you have shield or not.
I can die! I can die slowly.
Whisper goes down.
Hit.
Okay.
And then it is going to go in with a beak on her.
Oh, so we're playing proper D&D then, are we? I see.
All right.
Advantageous because she's prone. Hits.
Doesn't it automatically hit because
It's
I'm
an auto crit.
unconscious?
Yeah.
It's not
Auto
okay.
Crit. It's critical hit.
So
That saves.
it is a crit, which is 2 death saves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
It just kind of like rips her out, just ragdolls her. You just see her go down with the claw. The claw almost crushes her down to the ground, and then the beak, it tears at her, and it kind of doesn't let go as it finishes, and it just kind of just ragdoll flips her onto her back for a moment. It is the end of the owlbear's turn. Whisper, please make me a blind death save.
Okay.
For real, does anybody else have a first aid kit?
No.
No. A healing kit or anything? Does Whisper have a healing kit?
I have a disguise kit, so maybe we could just weaken to Bernie's here.
I will screenshot for you if you want, but that's a nat 20.
Shut the front door, she's back on her feet!
That was a
Work.
nat 20 on her death
Perfect.
save. I am dropping it right now in chat.
Drama.
I would just like to quote myself earlier, talking to that entity trying to trick me, saying that an animal trying to survive is as strong as grass.
We'll see.
Nat 20, yeah. So
As I immediately go down in the next
Remind
round.
me, nat
You're
20
getting
is
a bit cocky a bit too soon.
nat
so-
20 is back on 1 HP, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, you. So that death save is at the start of your turn, is it not, or is it at the end of your turn?
The end, I think.
And I think
Well, remember anyway, we do have the homebrew rule in that you are conscious if you want to be while the death saves are taking place, Whisper. You're just mechanically unconscious. You can still like feebly cry out.
She's not even unconscious now, though. She's
Well, no,
conscious.
she would have been able to save if she
Sure.
wanted to. But yeah, you are. Did we say if it is at the end of your turn?
Yeah.
You don't still get.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are on
Up
one.
to you, yeah.
You are. We'll look it up, but with time being,
It is. It's always death saves are always at the end.
Okay, cool. Hazim, you see this happen. You are unsure what's going on with Whisper, if she's alive or dead. She is thrown to the floor, mauled. The beast is there. What are you doing?
I'm gonna come charging in, close to her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hit this motherfucker. The fucking glaive mother.
So you are technically prone at the moment, Whisper, on account of having been down. It hits.
I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna give it some damage.
I would also remind you, just because I feel like it's early in the campaign, it's a high stakes moment. You do have the ability to give it your all if you want. Remember, where you can turn a hit into a crit for 2 levels of exhaustion.
I'm not wounding myself.
That's fine. Just reminding occasionally, wounding yourself.
Exhausting myself.
Yeah.
Not for these lot.
It hits.
I don't like them enough. Yeah.
It hits. It looks like it is not in a good way.
And then I'm going to bonus attack it
With your pommel.
Actually, do you know what? I'm gonna try and push it with that attack. No, I'm not. I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna pommel it first.
Okay.
Pommel.
Misses.
And then I'm gonna use an action surge.
Your action surgeon.
Action surging.
What's it like when Hazim action surges?
He just comes in with as he's running, he's like, another chance! It's like a little shoot, like a. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. He's gonna look like the best polearm master of all time that has ever existed from any existence. It basically looks like Donatello from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Just fucking. And for a second, my shimmer weave glows purple as I run in, as I activate my ultra.
Just across your eyes. Okay.
Yeah.
Attack again, man. Please miss after all that.
Oh, don't. Why would you do that?
Hits.
You fucking know I fucking do.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh.
I'm gonna do that.
Hold on. Tell me how you kill it.
Yeah, boy! I come running in. So this is the full thing. Seeing Whisper drop down, there is this protective surge. I white knight all of a sudden. I look at this strong woman dropping and I think she will be able to save herself, but I shall assist her. Right, just like I come running in. And it is just like a big glaive. I've got enough of a run with a big glaive slash that kind of cuts across its mouth as its maws opened. It kind of like cuts through the cheek, straight through. And as it's kind of run, this big pivot around and up and underneath, into its throat, up into its head, into its brain. We're kind of stunned underneath it, just pushing into its brain. And it kind of collapses to one side and I leave my glaive for a second and I just let go of it and I look to Whisper down on one knee. I'm like, are you okay?
After all of that, I really wish that it had survived its undead constitution saving throw and it just got back up and kept going. But
That's fine.
It rolled a 3. It does actually stay dead.
It's like the most impassioned George McFly to Lorraine. Are you okay?
And
to Whisper.
And that is where we will end for now on this creature, this horrid art, just collapsing down and unfortunately staying down. It would have been very funny after all that moment if it got back up. But that is where we are going to end things for tonight's session. I'll take us back to the landing page. But yes, thank you very much, everybody. It was fun to be back after 2 weeks away. Let's just quickly go around. Oh, we didn't do it at the start. Let's just go around, say who we are, who we were playing, where people can find each other this week. I will go with Jack first, because I think he has to step away. So yeah, over to you first, Jack. You're muted.
Muted.
Tell us where we can't find you anywhere.
You can't find me anywhere, but I am Jack, and I played Vanessa. Bye.
Yoink. Down to don't quit the call just yet. Down to Mad.
I am Alex. I'm Mad. You can find me over at www.patreon.com/themadcartographer or www.cruciblemag.com. Can't even remember my own thing. Whatever. Just do what you want. But I played Hazim. So thank you for watching.
Excellent. Over to Luca.
Hi, I'm Luca Locke, and you can catch me on TPK Roleplay. Basically, the entire weekend. I'll be here. Just check the schedule for exact times.
Excellent. I was Harris, and I was your DM. I think you can next find me here on Saturday for Dark Echoes. Is Terminator this Saturday as well?
It's on Sunday.
Yeah, Terminator on Sunday. And then, And then, yes, every Tuesday here on Fragments. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. It was fun to be back. And we will see you next week. But until then, Quippy signing offline.
Quippy signing offline!